From downtown LA, it's the Little Jolly Gamer Show. Boom shakalaka.
Hey, look at that video format. Video format. Look at that. Hey, this is the Little Jolly Gamer Show. If you're listening on the podcast, this is episode 203. It's been a year. Hey, we're live. We're live.
Yeah, we made it.
I'm here. Jacob's here, and I don't. Who's that over there?
Wait, who is that?
That direction. Who's that? Joining us on our Game of the Year episode, which honestly, guys, the Game of the Year episode is always my favorite episode that we do every year. Don't know why. Historically, it's our most viewed episode, our most listened to episode as well. I think it's just because everybody kind of has that same. It's like Christmas time. Jacob, you've talked about it before. It's like a special time of year where we all get together and put our differences aside and talk about why we're all wrong about each other's top 5 lists.
And we don't have E3 anymore, so I mean, Game Awards is kind of what it is, I guess.
It's an opportunity to reflect.
Yeah,
I
think that's the best way to put it.
There it is.
So we all are going to be choosing our top 5 favorite games, and that's the key word.
Correct.
Top 5 favorite games. It can be whatever you want.
Yes.
If you want to choose a number 1 game that is a technical masterpiece, even though you didn't necessarily vibe with it, you can do that. Or if you just want to pick a game, it's like, hey, I played this game for 80 hours, and it's a game about driving a garbage truck. You can do that as well, and no one else ever heard of it. Will that be my number 1? It would have been. It would have been.
That may get a small shout out later. I don't know. We'll see.
And early access is something that we typically wouldn't allow on the list before. I'm allowing it this year only because I do have early access games I want to talk about, and if I didn't, I wouldn't like my top 5. So the only caveat to the early access, like we talked about off record, was that it has to be something that is not too early. It has to be like a game, like an actual game you can play and not start to finish. But for example, my biggest example is Grounded 2. Grounded 2 came out this year.
Thank you. Yes.
I really loved what we played of it, but I did play the heck out of Grounded 1. I wasn't impressed enough from what they had currently. I know it's going to be a better game when it's finished, but I don't want to put it here because I feel like there's other games that need to be talked about. And then before we jump into it, we're gonna do top 5, and then we're going to give our full top 10s. My top 10 is not in any particular order. I'm just gonna give you a list of the games I played, and then we'll do some extras at the end. We'll talk about some of our favorite moments in the games that we played, and then some of our biggest disappointments in the games that we played, or the industry, or anything like that as well. And then we'll talk about the games we're anticipating for 2026, and maybe some games that we didn't finish, or games that we would like to have played or played more. But that being said, unless anybody has any questions, how'd y'all feel about 2025 on the whole?
I did have a question.
In gaming specifically, in video games.
I do think Preparation H feels good. Okay, sorry.
So who's this mysterious guy you were alluding to earlier? This dude said, he's like, and who's this we have joining us?
Look in the mirror. Look in your camera. Look back at yourself.
Did he not get intro?
My name is Tyler.
Oh, did I not? Oh, oops.
No, that's okay. Hey, look, we're just swimming.
Shaking the rust off. It's been literally a year.
It's literally been a year. It's literally been a year.
Anyway, I'm
That's
Brandon.
all right, guys.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Tyler. There we go.
And Tyler, you have your own YouTube channel, correct?
I have a YouTube channel, Middle Gray. I'm on Middle Gray at Twitch as well.
I love that name.
It's all about we're here for video games. Enough about us.
Oh yeah, we're here about the games. We're not here about
2025
us.
was a weird year.
They just want
it's all about the
They just want to hear
baby.
about why we're incorrect.
2025 it was a weird year, but some good games. Some depressing moments, but some good games as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak too much to 2025 because it it may end up on my biggest disappointments, honestly.
The calendar year,
in general.
No, not 2025. No, as not as a personal thing, but just in video games, I can just kind of speak to it right now a little bit. I think this is the first year where I just didn't have a lot of I didn't have killer app games this year. And I was listening to our old God of War. Wow, that was Freudian slip, but our old Game of the Year episodes, and I didn't have a God of War. I didn't have a Red Dead 2. I didn't have, Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't have the one I was like, as soon as I got done, I'm like, nope, that's it, nailed it. Can't be dethroned.
I think a lot of people had, at least, I think we all, the elephant in the room, I think a lot of people agreed about at least one big game.
That's true. A lot of people also play that and still feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's the great irony, is that even the massive cleaner at the Game Awards is still a game that's like...
You mean the Expedition 33 show?
It does. It feels a little bit like its greatest competition was kind of a game for kids with Donkey Kong Bonanza, or maybe Hades 2 was its biggest competition.
Maybe, yeah.
As far as like critical acclaim and all of that, which those are the games that end up winning, the games that have the critical acclaim, in addition to the groundswell of sort of grassroots support as well. So it feels like there was one game missing that kind of pierced out above the rest, and
I feel like
it's weird. Like, irony of saying that in a year where Expedition 33 got nominated more than every other game ever, still feels a little like it just, but by that much.
Yeah, I feel like 2025 was the year of like, hey, AAA they're trying to stabilize. Like, no one knows what they're doing anymore. Everything's getting canceled. Everything's getting absorbed.
Well, we're in the post-COVID era,
and we're also we've talked about this as well. We've talked about the general homogenization of just media in general, not only with video games but with entertainment, TV, movies, all of it. You feel like you've played these games before. You feel like you've watched these movies before, and it's hard to get excited about a lot of things because you kind of already have a general notion of what it's going to be before you even play it. But then when you play a game like Clear Obscure, or maybe even a Nintendo game, because they seem to be the ones. Even Nintendo with Metroid Prime has kind of turned into this like, what why are we stagnating here? Why are we stagnating? Why is everyone afraid to? Well, I guess we know why they're afraid to take risks.
We know why they're afraid.
They don't want to take the risks. They don't want to push creativity. They just want to sell to that general audience, and that's why everything's getting generally homogenized. So a game for everybody is a game for nobody, I feel like. So to quote the who said that, Helldivers 2 guy, CEO. Same thing. It's like a movie for everybody is a movie for nobody. So I feel like that's kind of been the running theme with 2025 for me. And then industry wise, it's just kind of how the world is now. Giants swallowing giants and firing everybody and making really middling products.
It should be noted that we probably feel this way because of the swell of delays.
Yes.
We probably wouldn't feel this way if games hadn't gotten moved out of this calendar year. But we still had a pretty good batch of games. It was just a lot of kind of, I don't know, unexpected feelings, I guess, unexpected stories,
and a lot of. I feel like this is the indies rising to the cream will rise to the top.
Rise to the top.
Sure.
I think it's indies are rising to the top, and then you're seeing games like earlier this year, Schedule 1 was made by one guy, and it was outselling Assassin's Creed, and everyone was just like, because it was fun. It was just a fun game. But anyways, that's kind of all I have to say about 2025 in a nutshell. And then, unfortunately, the loss of some industry members as well. Not only because they're getting older. The video game industry is getting to be an old industry now. But also, tragic losses like Vince Zampella. That's terrible.
Goodness gracious.
So that also kind of sucked. As well. And then I think, did I see something about this is my fear, is with all the different companies getting bought out, is like NetherRealm, for example. You've got these legendary developers like Ed Boon. It's like, what's going to happen to these guys? You see a lot of these guys
they're going to retire.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are exiting the industry because they're just like, I don't have the energy for this, and you never know how many more of those great games they still have left in them, and it's
probably not many, if one. I think there's going to be a pretty noticeable exodus of older talent as they just kind of age out of the desire of fighting.
Except Kojima. Kojima's going to put his brain in a jar.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, but even
he's
him,
the one that they rolled the carpet out for. From what we know, they give him money to do weird things because he has that otherwise great like audience support. Most of these dudes don't. Ed Boon is like another big name in the industry, but those two names capture a fraction of the veteran developers that are out there. So that's one thing that's really. It's Sakurai, yeah. That's another. There are a few names that are they're probably safe, but there's like the other 99% that have been doing it just as long and have had such massive impact that are going to just I guess retirement is a better option than trying to make games in this environment.
That's true.
You know,
it's just a really unstable environment.
It is very.
Like with Concord. Remember Concord? Who remembers that game?
Well, that's what I said earlier. Y'all were talking about AAA games being scared, and I said it last year. In my biggest disappointment was the industry chasing trends. They're wanting to go. They want their Fortnite,
dude,
and Fortnite's Fortnite. You can't. Don't do that. And so, you made a good point with Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed being sold out by a guy named Tyler. Not our Tyler, but a guy named Tyler.
Tyler, how dare you sell out Assassin's Creed?
That would be so nice. I wish.
You sell it out, literally, metaphorically. No, and so it is. I think I made that mention last year about I hoped that it would make those AAA studios think a little bit. It's kind of like one of those things where you see what's the thing like a bunch of CEOs sitting around, and all of a sudden they're like, we're untouchable, and all of a sudden one of them just gets he gets his head chopped off in the form of Concord, and everybody goes, whoa, we were untouchable.
I thought you meant in the
no, not actual
in the room.
Yeah, some upper echelon.
Year? Dude, was that 2025?
Concord
is
the CEO guy
last year. Oh wait,
because your illustration is literally our reality also.
Wait, what?
The dude, the American healthcare guy getting blasted.
Yes, that was last year.
Is the insanity of last year is that.
Oh right,
your illustration is literally true.
Luigi.
Yes, it's so crazy.
But it is. It's like they're this upper echelon of game makers that are like, we're untouchable, and all of a sudden Concord, which is not like an upper echelon game, but it was a AAA game, and then a record game for going gold, and then just getting the axe completely no turnaround. Cinderella story.
Concord is the example of everything I was talking about, general homogenization. That is Concord. Mm-hmm. That is
the eye squint game.
They couldn't read the room since the first time it was revealed, and it was everyone's like, this is Overwatch.
And it's a million other things at the same time.
And nobody has the time or the money to sit around, or at least normal people don't have the time or money to sit around and try to grind out every battle pass and stay up on all the patch notes and all the buffs and the nerfs and all this stuff. Most people just find their niche, and unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, it's Fortnite for a lot of people, because Fortnite, it's all, you don't like how it is, just wait a season. They kind of read the room a little bit better than most people. But that's kind of all I had to say. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about?
I find this time to be a whole lot of fun, because the games that you played, I'm sure this is true for you guys as it is true for all gamers. You can think about the times that you played a game and get the feeling of when you were in those moments, the other things that were going on around it. When I think of specific games, it reminds me of other things going on in my life, and it gives me a really strong sense of experience in my memory, So I love this time thinking about Game of the Year, not merely to talk about the games, but it just really gives you an opportunity to think about the past year.
They're timestamps.
I was truly insane. They are. Mm-hmm. They're timestamps.
Yes.
And this has been such a weird, wild year for so many reasons. And, our lists are just reflective of that, as all things around us are. So this is good. This is exciting stuff.
All right, boys. Who's ready? Who's ready for the top five? Top five games of the year. Who wants to go first? Because we do it round robin. We all do our fives. We all do our fours. We're all the way leading to one. and then we all do our big reveals. If anybody wants to chime in, talking about a game that we may have some overlap or not, or if we have 2 top 4s or top whatever that's the same, you can go ahead and knock them out at the same time. Just coordinate, fellas. But who wants to go first?
Yeah, not me. Not
Jacob's not going first. I'll go first.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'll go first. Okay. I want to go ahead and preface my top 5 by saying that it's been a rough year. It's
that could be the same for me.
It is, finding the time and money specifically to get all the games that I want is tough. So I had to make calls. If I'm like, I really want to play Metroid Prime 4 this year. I didn't. I made the call not to get that because I could get, maybe 2 to 3 other games in place of that for the price tag. It's like $70, I think. I was fortunate enough to receive a Switch 2 and some other games as a gift. So that actually helped kind of fill out the games I played. But I'm going to start off my top 5 with a budget title. I don't think anyone else is going to have this on their list. My number 5 game of 2025 is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Marvel Cosmic. Okay. I'm a big beat 'em up guy. Tyler, I know you're a big beat 'em up guy. Streets of Rage is, Streets of Rage 4 was a return to form, and then I believe that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Shredder's Revenge
is a
it's like this.
It's one of the best beat 'em ups you can get, and and it's a gift that keeps on giving. They've added DLC to it, new characters. It is a fun beat 'em up that is easy to pick up and play. It has the right amount of challenge. Veterans can enjoy it. Newbies can enjoy it.
It's a chef's kiss game.
It was a game I played with my kid, and I saw that the same developers were making a Marvel game. And I used to love the old Marvel beat 'em ups too, like War of the Gems on Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
This had a little bit of that flavor. Mainly because it's like 90s Marvel. We're not talking about MCU or anything like that. You might get some of the MCU characters, but they all have like their 90s designs. A lot of throwbacks to like Marvel vs. Capcom, which is another game I'm super passionate about. The character roster is awesome. I mean, it has pretty much there's something there for everybody. There's a diverse cast. I'm sure they're going to add DLC in the future. But probably the coolest part about the game is it's like tag team style. You pick 2 characters instead of 1. Of course, I go straight to Spider-Man and Venom, well, at least whenever I unlock Venom. But it's cool because there's such a great roster of characters. You get to pick 2 of them instead of just 1. And some of the characters I do feel like are a little bit better than others, but the pixel art in that game is fantastic. The music, T. Lopez, or is it T. Lopes? Forget how to say his name. I'm just going to say T. Lopez, but the same guy did the music for Ninja Turtles and Sonic Mania, and amongst other games. Really, really great music. Tons of things to unlock, like little files and things to read about the characters. You can look at all the artwork and such. Alternate costumes, all the characters, you can level them up, so it gives you reason to play as different characters. And then each level has character-specific, at least for that level, 2 specific characters to play for challenges, so you can go back and play the challenges as well. I think if I had to complain about anything with Cosmic Invasion, it's a little short. But like I said, it is a budget title. You can get it for like, what, $25?
Well, that's kind of, I know that was the thing that we kind of said about Shredder's Revenge. When we had it, I think it made it one of our lists, or our list that year. It came out. Well, that was 2 years ago, I think. And we just said it just wanted more. Like, it was just too short. That was the only gripe. I'm assuming they're probably going to do DLC like they did for Shredders.
I would assume. They're probably going to add more characters. There's plenty of room on the roster for that. But like, chances are, if you have a favorite Marvel character, they're probably in this game.
Cool.
I would like to see like some, and like something that's been absent from Marvel for a while has been like the X-Men. That's like the big thing now, is that X-Men is coming back in Doomsday. But here you've got Wolverine and you've got Storm. That's really a Phoenix. You get Phoenix as well. But I would like to see some Cyclops. I would like to see some,
give me Professor X. I want to be in there on a wheelchair running
You know, a fighting game, is it Mutant Academy, where you play as Professor X? He's like cutting flips in his chair.
Seth's in.
Planet level mutant.
But I want to see some Gambit. Gambit's the GOAT.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to see Blade. I mean, we're getting a lot of love of the characters that haven't gotten the love since the Fox merger. Because you go play Marvel Rivals. Blade's in there. Deadpool's in there. So yeah, that's my number 5. That's really all I have to say about it. There's really not much I can spoil anyway, but tons of great boss fights and characters that pop up that you want to see. And I would like to see the Fantastic Four return to it as well.
Nice.
Oh wait, that's my number 5, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Who wants to go
Right.
next?
Well, I guess I'll go next. My number 5 is going to come with a little extra baggage, but it's fun, and I think it should enlighten a soon to be rich subgenre. So my number 5 is split fiction. Enough about split fiction. Enough about split fiction. I want to talk about the rise in pro-marriage games. These are the games that are, I play the husband, you play the wife. It takes two. I play the girl, you play the other girl. Or like we're like associates in a heist gone wrong. You play that one, I'll play the one with the nose, and we'll go crazy.
I get that reference.
It's gonna be great. And this is I think the Fares brothers have a lot they've contributed a lot to the games industry so far with creating this kind of subgenre. It's not the first time that there's ever been a 2-player co-op game, but they've blended this kind of like almost like a Mario Party. Like you just do a slew of different.
It's like a proprietary design. Like
yeah,
they've nailed it.
You're right. It was proprietary, but now it's spilling over into other development studios. At the Game Awards, they announced like 3.
Yeah, the anime looking one.
Developers.
Yeah.
And they just came out with that Lego one that's the same. It's Lego Voyagers or Voyages or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. And I propose that we call these, in due reverence to the studio, we call them Haze Lights.
Haze Lights.
Haze Lights. Because the studio
Haze
is
Lights.
LIGHT and LITE just swaps out. They're Haze Lights. Dude, I'm here for the Haze Lights.
I was just calling them Goof Troop games. You ever play Goof Troop? As a Goof Troop game.
But I don't know. I think it's good for the industry for more of these, and they don't have to be like these blockbuster game of the year contenders like It Takes Two was, which is still their best game. I hope that we can all agree on that. Split Fiction feels like, okay, I should probably talk about Split Fiction. It Takes Two's like huge expansion to me. It feels like a lot of the maybe mini games and mechanics that didn't make it to It Takes Two are found in Split Fiction. So I think that Split Fiction just feels like a smaller game with a slightly smaller budget. Whenever we finished Split Fiction, we went all the way through the game, and then we went back and got the trophies to get the platinum, and then I re-downloaded It Takes Two to go back and get the platinum.
Yeah.
And comparing those two games side by side really accentuated that feeling. It Takes Two just has much larger areas, and it just feels like a more like, in the sense of like cinematic kind of flair, the Uncharted style, it feels further in that direction, where Split Fiction attempts to go there, but it's kind of like that Tomb Raider trilogy where it's like, it's just a little more compact. And while that works for some games, I think that Split Fiction is just, it's really good, and I had a great time with it. And it's worth playing for anyone who liked It Takes Two, I think. While recognizing that that's still their best game. So Haze Lights.
Dude, I loved A Way Out. A lot of people think that game
Yeah,
is
so
like,
good.
I don't want to say they think it's bad, but I think it gets a bad rap. I do think that game would have been better if the entire game was based around a jailbreak instead of getting out like a quarter of the way through. Spoiler alert. But, but it was like
that was the strongest part of the game.
It was like far. Shawshank Redemption co-op.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, A Way Out needs to be credited for like making this subgenre happen. I mean, before
you gotta start somewhere.
That game was a success for them, and then they did It Takes Two, and it was massive. It was huge. I mean, it won Game of the Year at the Keeleys, while also being recognized on everyone. I mean, like, I have people I know in my personal life who don't play games played that game together. It's pro-marriage, it's pro-family. It's what we...
And yeah, I've always been a huge fan of like couch co-op. Like I mentioned earlier, Goof Troop, dude. Goof Troop's one of my favorite games, and that is a game that like you can play it single player, but playing that game...
These Haze Lights are just so accessible.
Yep.
You know? So accessible.
My question for you is, as someone whose playtime is extremely offset of my co-op friends. That's the one thing that eats at me for these games, because everyone talked about It Takes Two, and as soon as I saw this, I was like, I always dream about games that blend sci-fi and fantasy. I was like, oh my gosh, but I'd never have anyone to play with. How would you say, like, okay, so for Luann, my wife, who's limited, she played Hogwarts Legacy, she played a lot of Breath of the Wild, so knows video games but doesn't know video games. How would you say it would be for someone like her to pick it up and play with me?
I think It Takes Two is probably the best place to start if you're one to play with your significant other. But if she's good to play Breath of the Wild, she'll be more than good enough to play It Takes Two and Split Fiction. They're very basic 3D action platformers where the stakes in the story are high. Granted, like it's whatever is going on in that particular plot, but the stakes in the moment-to-moment gameplay are low. Like if you die or if she dies, you just have like 5 seconds. You tap a button and you respawn and you're fine. You just keep going. You only have to like go back to a checkpoint, which are very generous if both of you are dead at the same time. But it's like, you get one mechanic at a time. You run around and you jump. That's throughout the game from moment 1 to the last moment. And then each level has a new mechanic that it introduces. Like, I've got the sword, you've got the hammer. I've got the nail, and you've got the whatever. So it's totally accessible. I think that's one of its greatest selling points, honestly.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I made this list. I'm glad that we were able to talk about it, because I feel like it did, was it nominated as a Game of the Year nomination?
Yeah, it was in a lot of categories.
So it made a lot of categories.
And Joseph Fares is awesome, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, it is time for your number 5, sir.
A reason I wanted to go last, because
you're
this
selfish.
is always... Yes, absolutely. Why am I always the bad guy? I'm like the nicest one out of our friends group.
That's what he wants. That's what he wants you to think.
I'm the
That's
most
what he wants you to think.
wholesome person in real.
Because you have a pink butt on your shirt, dude.
You put the oh God! Look, it's Kirby.
It's Kirby, guys.
A lot of times I feel like every year 5 and 6 to me are almost more difficult. I wouldn't say more important, but more difficult than like what number 1 and 2 are. It's like, because it's like, who's making the cut? Who's getting on the board? And I was sitting there and we talked about, early access being available, and I rolled around some things, and there's a reason I bring it up, that Avowed makes my number 5.
Nice.
I like that.
Nice.
I wanted to play more.
I'm glad that's there.
Yeah. And I didn't finish it. I did want to play more. I want to state for the record, but I got fairly deep into it. I don't have to check my playthrough, but I know it was a good 40+ hour game for me. But the reason it made the list is because I feel like we're in this world where the CRPG or style of CRPG that Morrowind style has evolved. I mean, Cyberpunk came out with their 2.0 and just revolutionized the way you can feel frenetic and free flow and still make it an RPG, in first person. And I do feel like a lot of fantasy RPGs, I'm not looking at you, Bethesda specifically, but they've just kind of gotten lost in their sauce, and they're not willing. They know it and they're good at it, but like I want someone to tell Todd, like, hey man, Skyrim was like 2 decades ago. It feels like almost like move on. We need to revolutionize it, and we're getting there. Avowed doesn't necessarily do that, but I do feel like it's a step closer to making that fantasy setting combat feel just a little bit more frenetic, a little bit more dynamic, where you can move around. There's not quite I can't remember if there was a parry system in there. What was really great, the combat's the big selling point. So let me talk about Avowed real quick, and I'll come back to that. Avowed is I knew enough of Pillars of Eternity to know about what they were as a genre, but I've never played a PoE game. So this is my first foray into that. It is in that universe. Your character's very mushroomy, which is the kind of the lore, I guess you could say.
I've seen lots of mushrooms.
Yeah, they're pretty mushrooms. They're not phallic mushrooms.
So you get to play as a fun guy. All right, I'm out of here. See you later.
I'm out. Thank you. I've contributed. Yeah, and it's one of these things where you're this unique person. You're set in this world. You have a connection to some kind of god or creator. The same old song and dance as far as story, but the story starts unraveling and become a little bit more intriguing as you go. A lot of people I know like it because the guy that voices Marius, who's one of your companions, is the same guy that voices. Oh my gosh, don't hurt me. Who's the alien dude everybody loves in Mass Effect? Garrus, the same guy, same voice actor. Yeah, and he's very much kind of just the dude bro. He's your yes man guy, the character in here. But you can meet other companions. The companions move really well. They seem like they interact a lot more with your with the environment, with the combat that you're engaging in. But at the end, and then the loot loop is great. They do a cool thing. I mean, it doesn't do anything new, but you're breaking down the loot to upgrade and level up the current existing things, but they have like really cool unique class weapons, kind of like Destiny did, where you had that gold weapon that was that only type of weapon, that was a named weapon. They had the same kind of the same thing here. Like there's revolvers, which is pretty cool, so it's not just bows, swords, and shields. It's in that musket era, so you could use a musket rifle or dual gun. We had guns, but there's one I got that was really cool, and I just kept it as an early level gun, but it basically was a lightning musket revolver that you could dual wield, and that's pretty freaking cool for a fantasy game.
Man,
so, you could just sit there and level that up and go as you go, and not have to really ever replace it.
That's what the founding fathers needed.
That's what they needed, the lightning gun. But I got a little Trumpy on that one. So, anyways,
you almost triggered it. You almost triggered it.
That triggered you? Were you sitting there? Yeah.
No, you almost.
He's gonna start talking to Assassin's Creed 3.
No, you almost triggered the impression. The cursed impression was about to come out.
We're trying to keep Brandon at bay. I messed him up. I'm trying to. I'm poking Bruce Banner. Again, it comes back to the combat, man. And then the other part of that is not just the combat, but I like the movement felt great. How like some of those games just kind of like, if I go back to Skyrim a lot, not to beat up on it, but and it is a very old game, and even though they've remastered it, you just feel sluggish sometimes with a lot of those games. Even current games that try to do that, this game I wouldn't say Mirror's Edge, but you felt a little more like you had some momentum, and you could carry that through jumps, and that led into really fun exploration puzzles and platforming. And what's really great, and I'll end with this, and I think this is the first game that actually made a first-person magic user feel freaking fun, that you just didn't go fire and just hold it. There was everybody that I know that spoke to that played this game. Everywhere you looked on the internet, people wanted to play the wizard builds because they were just fun, man. Just watching, you kind of, some of the spells you'd have just not quite as in depth, but like a little bit of a Doctor Strange, like your hands would move and make spells and cast them. Gang sign magic.
Yeah, dude, that's so sick.
I've seen people do that. I've seen people do that in the hood.
Dude, with the spicy chip videos. I've seen them do it on those.
You ever see that video? You ever see the video like they're shooting like Roman candles at each other like in the ghetto? It's playing the Harry Potter music.
But Avowed's my number 5. I didn't finish it. I think some other games came in, and I would like to return back to it before I get rid of Game Pass.
That was super early in the year, wasn't it?
It was very early.
Obsidian. It was like, Obsidian hit.
That was Obsidian. Mm-hmm.
Outer Worlds 2, even though that's people think it's a I mean, they're putting out games. They're putting out games, man. And Grounded 2.
Yeah.
Obsidian, man, they need to get more credit, dude.
They do.
They
100%.
did that just a few years ago.
Oh, okay, it's my turn, isn't it?
All right, that was my number 5. Back to you, 4.
If you see me keep looking over here, I'm monitoring timestamps. Okay. My number 4. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I've got 2 games.
Oh, you pull up Brad from Nextlander? Did you pull?
Did he? Oh yeah, he put 2. Well, I've done this before. But the reason I'm cheating is because one of these is only halfway a game. So. My family was extremely fortunate to receive the ability to go to Universal Studios, Florida. Okay. And I'm putting 2 games at my number 4 spot, and both of them are Mario Kart. I'm putting the Mario Kart ride from Universal Studios as
It did release this year or last year.
I think it's been out for a little bit. But we
okay.
got to go, and then
Those were
as a
early
side
access
tangent
years.
for technicality, I'm putting Mario Kart World right here next to it. But that's
Okay.
that's just in case I get called out on it. But yeah, dude, I got to go to Nintendo World. Never thought it was gonna be possible. I've never, I'm a cold. my soul is destroyed. But when I walked into Nintendo World, it was like a kid in a candy shop. Dude, I was walking around looking like I saw the Lord. You know, I'm like looking around like the Donkey Kong stuff everywhere, Mario stuff everywhere. I ate a red Koopa shell calzone. It was awesome. But we did ride the Donkey Kong ride. We did ride the Yoshi ride, and then we rode the Mario Kart ride. And it is something else, dude. It is one part roller coaster or like simulated roller coaster. Kind of like I don't know if you've ever been to Universal before, but it's kind of like Men in Black. You know, the Men in Black ride.
Oh yeah, I've actually
where-
been to Universal, but not since they got the Mario.
It's just like a
DLC
spinning.
back.
It's like a spinning cart on
Yeah,
like a track
for
that's
sure.
moving around. But the thing
I
is,
rode it many times.
they give you these AR glasses that snap to this visor you put on, and when you put on the AR glasses, you see stuff that aren't there, of course, and it takes you through one part like real
Space 3.
real animatronics and like projections and stuff like that. There's one part like those big cloud enemies from Mario Odyssey, you know, that look like little swirly ice creams.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
There's a part where you go through that and there's wind blowing in your face, and you like Bowser and his cronies are flying past you. All the while you're spinning around, you're picking up items, and you have these little buttons on your little controller, and you can shoot them virtually to hit the bad guys. You go, dude, Rainbow Road's in there. You go in Rainbow Road, the music's playing. It's like I wish I could have rode it like 3 more times.
They have a segment where you jump off the track and then Lack
And you
of
shortcut
Two
it.
has to.
You do a glitch. You do a glitch. It was much more responsive than something
Okay.
like Men in Black, by the way. Where that
Good.
that ride's probably like what 40 years old at this point, so 30 years
darn
old.
old, I think. Yeah.
But then on a side tangent, I was able to play Mario Kart World this year as well. I still think Mario Kart 8 is a better game in pretty much every way, shape, and form. I think the open world stuff has potential to be something better. I don't hate it. I know there's a lot of people who hate the open world aspect of it because you're just driving around aimlessly doing little challenges just to collect stickers and stuff. Nothing that really changes your gameplay. You can get like costumes and stuff, but you can do that through the other modes as well. But I've always thought it was pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of Mario Kart Double Dash, and in that game, when you're racing around on the tracks in Double Dash, you can look in the distance and see other tracks that you've either been to or going to go to. And like when you're in Rainbow Road, you can look down and you see the cityscape and like the whole island you've been racing on. And I always thought it was a really cool idea to give you the ability to just drive around, and you're just like, hey, look, here's Mario Circuit. And you drive up a little bit, like, oh, there's Peach's Castle. It's that Todd Howard. Oh, you see that mountain over there? You can go
Yeah, I see
there.
that. You can go there.
Yeah, and you can sort of do that in Mario Kart, and the challenges are fun. It added some new mechanics as well. Like you can do kind of like a charge jump to kind of get up onto rails and ride on walls and bounce off of walls, and like use your momentum to kind of get to shortcuts that if you're not as skilled, you wouldn't be able to use otherwise. Which is nice because I'm a flatlander. When I play Mario Kart, I am just drifting and hitting all the apexes the way you need to, and learning the tracks. But now they give you more options. And that was one of my favorite things about the Booster Pass courses on Mario Kart 8 was a lot of those tracks had alternate, ways you could go instead of just following the old beaten path. Now's the bad part. The bad part of Mario Kart World. The intermission tracks, dude, are
They're short.
they're not short. They're boring. Whenever you play the Grand Prix or a versus race, let's talk about Grand Prix first. Grand Prix, you're used to doing 4 races. You try to get first place or the amount of points you need to get the gold cup and then move on to the next cup. But now you have to you don't do 3 laps. You do 3 laps on like the first one, I think. But after that, it's like you start at the end of the track of the first race or wherever you were just racing. You go to the next track and you do like maybe 1 lap, if that. Sometimes it's a half a lap. And that's it. Now you're moving from that one to the next one. That's the 3rd race. And the problem is that it's just straight road. It's just straight road. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
You hit the boosts. You maybe you can draft people, but what you end up doing is just staying in the back, watching the map, and like, okay, I'm halfway there. Let me just hoard these good items, and then just race to the front at the very end. And that's not fun. it takes away from the magic of what Mario Kart is. The magic of Mario Kart is why the blue shell was invented. You know, even though that was like a limitation, a hardware limitation at the time. What sucks is like, you know, you get red shells on a straightaway, you just throw them. You don't save them for anything, you know, other than to defend yourself. It's like you just throw them, and they increased the racer cap from what 12 to like 24, I think, or 30 something. So there's tons of people on the tracks. And like it sucks because you can't choose to not do that. When you do Grand Prix, you have to do it that way. You can do versus races. You can choose, you know, however many races you want to do in whatever order and do the 3 laps. And the tracks are great, by the way. The tracks are awesome, and some of them are remakes of old tracks, like Koopa Beach or that one dinosaur level from Double Dash or Peach Beach. All that stuff's there as well. I just hope that I wish they would give you the option. They have been patching it, believe it or not. They've been patching it, updating it, and fixing some of that.
Yeah.
Because there's these really cool modes like the Knockout Tour. I don't know if you've done that.
I was about to ask about Knockout Tour. Does that kind of change up that monotony a little bit? With it being like a battle royale style?
Yeah. It changes it, but you still have to race some of those intermission tracks, I think. And it sucks. And I stopped playing it because of that. It's like,
yeah,
it's just, I don't want to say luck of the draw, because I mean, that's part of the beauty of Mario Kart, but it's just those flat tracks where it's like, you may as well just pick a heavy guy and floor it, because drifting's not really going to do you much good. And God forbid it's on water, dude. And there's a lot of tracks that have water in between them. Because the water stuff, it's like, you really are just looking for a ramp to jump off of, and it's just not really that fun.
Bog you down.
Yeah.
It's not like Sonic. Remember Sonic Racing Transform? Whenever you went from like a cart to a boat to a
plane.
It just felt so engaging in every one of those. I mean, boats are always the least interesting because there's not a lot you can do with water racing, but Sonic found
Gotta make those waves bouncy. It needs to be like wave race, buddy. If you're gonna be on a
Hydro Thunder,
I want to be the whole time. I want to be doing some of these.
You need something that's keeping you engaged the whole time. And water is just like,
I know.
And you can bounce. You can bounce and get boosted. It just doesn't feel very good to do. And then my last complaint about Mario Kart World is the roster. They finally gave us the ability to choose new costumes for each character, so you can play as like, 8 different versions of Mario or whatever. The character selection needs some work, but. Other than that, they thought it would be a great idea to just make you play as generic Mario bad guys. Which I get it. It's like, okay, you race as a Boo or a Goomba or something like that, but like everybody's freaking out about the cow. Everyone wants to race as the cow, and there's a level of silliness to it. But like some of these bad guys are like from Super Mario 3D World, like that one bird, Conkdor. Who remembers Conkdor? Do you remember Conkdor? You don't remember Conkdor. You don't remember Conkdor. But you can race as him, but where's Diddy Kong? Where's Diddy Kong? Where's Funky Kong? Why are we regressing? But there is the opportunity for them to add new islands
to the roster. Sure.
And I want them to add like a whole nother island of like free roam stuff to go do. Like add DK Island and give me my DK Mountain back, because that's the best Mario Kart track ever made. And give me like all like. Charge for it. I would pay for it, even though they did charge us $80 for that. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Hopefully that DLC will come in the form of a free download. But mainly I want to talk about Universal Studios and the Mario Kart ride. That's I know I'm cheating, but it's not really a video game, but it was one of my favorite. One of my favorite experiences this year. So that's my number 4, Mario Kart.
I'll talk a little bit about Mario Kart. So it was my number 6. So I'm not going to talk about it on this list beyond this. But yeah, I echo a lot of those sentiments. I really hate in those interstitials or in the open world when you get to a segment where it's like you look around and there's nothing but flat. It makes it feel like your cart is so slow.
I know, especially I could imagine playing on 50cc or anything below 150. Jeez.
It really accentuates how slow the cart is when you don't have things to boost. And I think that's one of the most fundamental points about where Mario Kart World fails. While still being a lot of fun in the areas that it succeeds, the places that it fails, there should be more. It's almost like it's a template for the greatest Mario Kart ever made, but they didn't get quite there.
They didn't fill it all out yet.
If there was maybe one more mechanic in between to make those like flat areas not feel so.
Yeah, make it a
bland.
drag race, man. Make me shift gears or something. I don't know.
Just something. There needs to be something
Yeah.
given to in the open world and in those Grand Prix intermission moment or whatever they are moments.
Also, the art direction.
Also-
It's a very beautiful game.
Oh, it's a gorgeous game and beautiful soundtrack.
Oh,
Amazing
soundtrack's
soundtrack.
So good.
It's so good, and people aren't talking about those things because of the criticisms are fair and they're very real. There are some areas where the game is exceptional, and the soundtrack is one of them. One thing I want to say about it is that it's really overpriced if you don't get the pack in.
Very overpriced. $80, dude.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
crazy. $80
We'll talk about
for
that later.
That's actually, I think, so piggybacking on the concept that it's just a little too bare bones in these very specific ways. The $80 price tag accentuates that. Now, I got the pack-in Switch, which
Same.
made it out to be like $50 basically.
Yeah.
Which feels a little financially fairer when you think about like the sort of time and
100%,
financial
dude.
investment. But $80 is insane.
My Switch
Yeah.
2 was a gift to me, which I'm extremely grateful for. And the person who gave me this gift was like, "Hey, I found a Switch here, but it's not the pack." And I was like, "Don't do that. Like, I can't support that. Like, I don't want to support that that ideology of buying Mario Kart." Because he was like, "I'll just buy you Mario Kart as well." I was like, "I don't want you to do that." Not because I mean I'm getting it for free. I should be like, okay, but I was like, no, I don't want to support the sale of individual Mario Kart 8 purchases, because I just think it's not fair, man. But look, I will eat those words if the DLC, like if they're like, oh yeah, we got a new island, all the new tracks, it's all included because you paid $80 for this game, or new characters, free updates. I would eat my words if that happened. But
I do really like the new skins. I've collected all of them, and there needs to be more. There are some characters that still only have like 2. I'm assuming it's DLC related. I get it.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong could get some more.
I know. It's so weird. But that's why I say it feels like it's almost a complete game. And if it were, it would be like a Game of the Year contender, I would say. But it's not. And I think so time is a big theme of this year, and the lack of time and the size of games. There's some massive games out there that whenever we talk about games we didn't finish, my list is I mean, it makes me cry. It's hard. But even with that being true, Mario Kart World was just not 1%, 10% more filled out, then it would be an overall better game. But I'll get to my actual number 4.
Number 4, Tyler.
My actual number 4. Dispatch.
Yeah.
It's the one I wanted to play this year, and I didn't get to.
It's very good. It's a game that I co-opt as well with. Right, it's that Telltale style is not really cooperative in the traditional sense, but it became such a thing within the fandom that they started developing like co-op mechanics in their games, like pull out your phone and we get to vote on choices you make. Like it became such a use this word again, grassroots way to play this game, like to add this cooperative modifier that they started adding into the game, which was pretty cool. So I play all of these kinds of games with Caitlin, and it's a lot of fun. But Dispatch is, I think, it's one of the best, like, sort of Telltale, Life is Strange kind of games they've ever made. That has ever been made. It's really good. Really good writing. I got all of the like I'm Jesus endings. Like I saved everyone's life. Everyone's good. Just to give everyone an idea. No spoilers in particular, but I got all the good stuff, which was good because there were some moments where it's like, we gotta pick this one. You get those little tints when you get some co-op going in these choice-based games. But that's part of what makes them so fun, is to talk about like the potential outcomes of if we hit circle, you're gonna kill me, or that kind of thing. Like that's what makes these games so interesting, is because they do generate conversation, that sort of thing. And Dispatches, I will also say that the gameplay side of it, like the tactical kind of like city management superhero thing that you do, is a lot of fun, and I could have played more of that in between the like cutscene story, press triangle to decide on what to say moments, because it was really good.
They should have a mode. They should just have a mode that's just like no story stuff, just the gameplay. Yeah,
it was really solid, and like you get the interjections from the superheroes if things don't go right, or when they do go really well. Sometimes you'll put two together and they'll have some sort of synergy that you didn't expect, and they'll have a little special dialogue. So the game is just chock full with character and personality, with every press of the button through the menu. Like it's just, and it's most of it isn't like too internet kind of humor, cringy kind of stuff. Most of it, there's a little bit of that. You're gonna get that in a game that's made for a popular audience like this, especially featuring superheroes. But I think it was just really well done, and the characters were memorable and worth caring about. And it's the kind of game where like I had to go immediately after and see how the other endings went. And they go real different. Like there are some very, very different endings to this game, which makes me feel better for getting the good stuff that I got.
And the voice talent, dude.
The
voice acting is extremely good. That was a big part of the marketing, because they went all out. Especially the I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays
the old man.
Yeah, the old man.
I can see his face.
Tremendously done. I mean, exceptional actor, exceptionally well done. This match is good, and if you haven't, or you're not like a fan, or you haven't played the kind of like Telltale style choose your own adventure stories,
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. This is a good one to play. It's super accessible, super easy to digest, and I mean, it plays like a serialized sort of TV show. It's really good. I like it a lot, man.
I played the demo on Steam, and that is what got me going, oh my gosh, I have to have this when it got out. And like we talked about at the beginning of 2025, the 2025 discussion, like finances just kept me away, and that was the only thing that's ever kept me away from picking it up. From the beginning, the scene where, this is not a spoiler because you played in the demo, where Aaron Paul's character, Mecha Man's talking to the big dude, who's the big red. He's a big Moani kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
And he's talking about, he's like, you don't wash your hands, like don't need to, don't grab. And and I just like, I was like, it's just the humor off the bat got me. I was like, I was sold from the moment. And a lot of the Critical Role people, I think, are in this too, as voiceover actors. And and then, like you said, like I started doing the life sim, or whatever you want to call it, which is the gameplay mechanic. And there's the hacking mini games. They give you a little bit of a taste of that in the demo. And then I was hooked. And I heard other commentary from people as the game came out and people progressed through the story. And they say a lot of it opens up in the back end. And so I just spoil it right now if we don't get to it. That is game number one of the games I wish I would have got for.
It's a tremendous game. It is a tremendous game. It's worth the acclaim that it's gotten. Another game with an underrated soundtrack. It's not like one you're going to put on and listen to necessarily, but it's super appropriate for the contemporary kind of, we're in the shadow of the Marvel Cinematic Universe style. Right. It definitely kind of has that vibe while, just being a little more adult in theme and content and stuff. So, Dispatch is really good. I liked it a lot. Number 4.
Nice.
Number 4. Well, my number 4 is going to be a game that 1.0'd finally this year. Brandon might know where I'm leading to, but my number 4 is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Dude, we are huge Deep Rock Galactic fans on this show. So when, I think, Brandon, you discovered it, that they were making a Vampire Survivor-like, we instantly got our attention. I picked it up from release of early access, I think last year. And another great, the thing that made this game shine is just getting to watch it progress in early access to where it is now. The game was great off the bat, out the chute, and then it has just even gotten better with the content they put into it. But I don't think it's got enough love from any outlet that I've heard of this year.
I agree.
People, that are huge Vampire Survivor heads are like, yeah, it was okay. Didn't really speak to me, but man, I don't know what to tell you then, dude, because there's just so many levels of, much like Deep Rock Galactic, where there's just so much progression that you can do and variety in that progression with your 4 different classes that you're playing as. And what's crazy is that they all feel really great. If you don't know anything,
can I chime in?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I very, very closely put this as my 5, and then moved Cosmic down to 4. But I ended up moving around just because I wanted to talk about Mario Kart. But the translation, like, so if Vampire Survivors is the vanilla flavor, the base flavor, and everybody's doing their own skew of it, the Deep Rock flavor is perfectly melded into it. Like all the elements, the guns, the tools, the creatures, the materials you're collecting, the music, everything, the classes, the kinds of things that you're interacting with, all the different mechanics. It is like perfectly integrated into the Vampire Survivors like.
Yeah, the transition was great. It was a perfect. Yes, exactly. I mean, even the sub challenges and the challenges, just like you get in Deep Rock that you're trying to do on those digs, you're doing the same thing here. I love how do you make a scout who's got a zip line in Deep Rock Galactic make him this? How's that translate in Survivor? It does, and they do it really well with the way that you can unlock and gives it that roguelike feel of weapons you can pick. And then that's the great thing is what I loved was once you level up certain weapons on a class, let's say the sludge pump for the driller, right? Once you level that to a certain point, well then now that unlocks the sludge pump for everybody. So now your scout can pick it up.
And you have individual weapon masteries as well that you can do challenges that you can only use that one weapon, and you get to just completely overdrive it. And then if you level that up, you get permanent bonuses for it going forward as well. Tons of reasons to engage in all the different modes.
Right, and it's a very, very big success story of early access to 1.0 because early on it was good as fun, but they didn't have all the challenges, they didn't have the masteries like Brandon talked about. They didn't have the I don't know what you would call it, but basically the campaign. You just had certain levels you'd pick, you play it on a difficulty, and you'd go and you do it till you either got to the end of the drill or the dig and you left or you died.
They got new mission types too.
They have new mission types.
The drill dozer's back, maybe
the drill dozer missions are back. So it just gives you a lot of variety to play, and you max out. You're tired of playing engineer, you switch over to the driller, and you just start playing. It's the same flavor, and it's just a little bit more chill, because it's a survivor game.
You can play with one hand.
Play with one hand. And this.
Well, what are you doing with that other hand, guy?
You can't see my other hand. You can't see my other hand right now.
Drinking water. I'm drinking water.
It's great if you got to hold a crying child for whatever reason. And it's coming to phones. It's coming to mobile.
Well, that was what I was gonna say. This game has been my Steam Deck friend all throughout 2025. We had multiple travel destinations for my job, for vacation, and I got other games that I would try to stick on the Steam Deck and try them, and I would always end up going, I'm just gonna play Deep Rock Survivor. It's got
that bite size. It's got that bite size aspect to it, where it's like you can pick it up and put it down at a moment's notice.
Correct. Right. So I'm not much more to say than that, other than Deep Rock's Galactic Survivor is my number 4.
Number 4. Okay, cool. Right. I lost my phone.
We're in the upper echelon now.
So I'm going to try to move a little faster, only because we're about to hit the hour mark, believe it or not, already.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. It's been a while.
My number 3 is also a game that 1.0'd this year.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Abiotic Factor.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be on there.
Abiotic Factor is... If you don't know it, Tyler, do you know about Abiotic Factor at all?
I've seen the poster on various sales, marketplaces and stuff. But
it is.
I've never played it.
At its core, it's a survival game. The kind of game you need to eat, you got to keep your energy up, you need to rest, stuff like that. The kind of things you would see in other survival games. But I know you're a very big fan of the Half-Life series, and
oh yeah.
Half-Life 1 has a special charm about it, like the way that the characters you interact with. Yeah, so imagine, I mean, you know Half-Life 1 very well. Imagine that aesthetic, literally one for one the aesthetic. That's what the game looks like. It's, instead of playing as Gordon Freeman with his, athleticism and his bravery and his heroics, what if you played as one of the wimpy little dorky scientists that often you see getting killed very frequently?
Gordon Freeman.
Gordon Freeman. I'm not going out there. It's scary. You play as that, and that like from
that's compelling.
From step one. That there's a unique flavor to it already, because when you are making your character, you choose a background for them, like what's their job, what were they doing in this facility when this horrible outbreak happened, and what are certain traits. You know how like RPGs, a lot of them have like special traits that will, like Outer Worlds 2 did this just recently, and Baldur's Gate I think does this as well, where it's like you can pick a trait that it's like, oh, you're really good at this, but it takes away from this. Or
definitely.
So this, you can do that, but it's really silly stuff that's like pertains to the characters. Like for example, let's say you want to play as a botanist, and the botanist is really good at agriculture and cooking and preparing food. That's going to be your specialty to keep the team alive, or to keep yourself alive, is being the nutritionist essentially. But what if on top of that you have like an aversion to violence? So you just don't like to fight. Your character's not good at fighting. Or what if you have a weak bladder, so you have to go to the bathroom more frequently than other people? But whenever you choose those bad traits, you get more
it's pooping
points.
and peeing in this game.
You get more points to put into like your stat points, and you can take negative traits and positive traits as well. You can have positive traits, but once you build your character, you can go in. So we can have totally different characters. Like Jacob could be like, "Oh, I'm just a security guy. I don't have any specialty except I'm really good at hitting stuff."
Me hit stuff.
But you could be like, "Oh, I'm actually the architectural engineer. I'm really good at building bases and such. But also, I can build cool weapons, but I'm really bad at this or that or whatever." And you can fully customize it, or you can just be an intern. An intern is just like a blank slate. It's like, I was just here, and it's like there's this thing that happens. It's very, dude. When I say it's like almost one for one Half-Life 1 inspired. It's like the Black Mesa facility, but it's a totally different facility. And
is it first person perspective?
It is first person, yeah.
Yes.
And like you're building, instead of building bases, and Jacob, I think this was kind of what your hang up was on it. You're not building like actual structures. You're building bases within like office complexes, or like there's like a forge area. You're building in a boiler room, or you're just kind of making makeshift stuff.
The spot that was above the office space and the vents.
Yeah. There was like some like a drop ceiling with all these lights, and we built on top of it. We built this really awesome. There's like a kind of like this lobby area with like a fish tank that we use to make a water purifier, and that's what's really cool is like your character's making like this it's really unique as far as like the kind of stuff you're making and how you're making it. It does have accessibility features, which is very important for me, because I feel like the stack weight and the stack limit was a little much, and the experience gain. But there's all kinds of really cool stuff. Like I said, it 1.0 this year, so it was like they were continuously adding on to it, and they're still adding. They just updated it recently as well. But there's like there's each sector that you get to kind of has like a different unique mechanic that's going on with it. Like this one I went to that was out of power, and there's like this horrifying Grim Reaper guy that's just like floating through the hallways, and you have to be kind of sneaky, and you have to kind of plan around it. And there's certain materials you can only get from certain sectors, but it all ends up connecting to the main area as long as you start turning on remember the tram ride in the beginning of Half-Life 1. You basically connect those to where you
connect
can
the power to that,
and you can unlock kind of like in a Metroid style way. You can unlock shortcuts to get through all the places as well, and I think you can eventually get like teleporters and such. And you're building stuff out of like, in the beginning, you're building stuff out of like armor out of plastic, like lunch trays and stuff like that.
The lunch trays you get from the cafeteria,
and you get to the forge and you're building like, you got welding helmets and stuff like that. And I got to a point where I'm making some wild stuff, because to make it even more interesting, there's like these cascade resonance things that are opening up, and you go to different dimensions. Like I went to a dimension, just to kind of keep it spoiler free, one of the early ones you go to. It's like Silent Hill. There's like these creatures running around, and there's like very specific materials you can get in there to build other materials. And there's like one place I went to that was like it was like Salem. I went to it was like a witch hunt. Like they think you're because you're a scientist, they think you're a heretic or a witch, and you can get stuff there to help you build. And you can combine all these different things. And there's this like kind of mechanic where when you pick up items, you can like put them in these slots. It teaches you how to build them and how much you'll need of it. It's a little aggravating after a while. The charm kind of wears off on it.
Yeah.
But also
the little mini game for
there's also like you got to protect yourself from radiation, from radioactive materials. I think there's like temperature. It's really fun. And I stopped playing it because I got to the water area, and I am infamously terrified of water areas. And there was like this, it's like a hydroelectric dam built into these caverns underneath the mountain or whatever. And like they're like, yeah, you got to swim from this point all the way to the dam over there. But there's something in the water moving around. I was like, okay, I'll get to this eventually. I never played it again.
I gotta wait for my friends. All my friends.
I had to wait for my friends, and my friends weren't playing this game. But if you get it on sale, especially, it's a budget title already. But I love it because I recently played Black Mesa, the remake, like kind of official, unofficial remake of Half-Life 1, and I couldn't get enough of it. And this game, it's really fun building your character and just playing in your own play style and finding unique places to build. I had a blast with it, but I think if there were other like AAA survival games, I think I still would play this one just because of that Half-Life 1 aesthetic. I mean, it really feels
wearing it on his sleeve.
I feel like if you go up to the wall, like where the logo is for the facility, if you just peeled it back, it would say Black Mesa. That's how close it is. It even it sounds like the voice actors even. Like it sounds like the old Dr.
I
Kleiner.
swear like it's him. I know.
Yeah, and your character talks like that as well. And also
when you heal, does it give you that little
No, you don't have power armor or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not armor.
But you get your little, remember how they would heal you with the little syringes, the little green syringes?
Yeah.
You can make those to heal yourself or you heal your friends. But and it does have like the day-night cycle thing that you see, like when the facility shuts down at night, all the electricity goes off. Yeah, so if you built for like electricity, you gotta make sure. And there's like anomalies that happen at night as well, depending how far you got in the game. There's like security robots that patrol normally, but the anomalies happen and like horrifying stuff happens. Like I had mentioned that Silent Hill stuff. Some of those creatures start bleeding out into your world, and you have to be prepared for it. But it's super fun. I think I ended up clocking like 40 hours in it. So, Abiotic Factor, that's my number 3.
Awesome. All right. Abiotic Factor. So, my number 3. Oh, man, this is a biggie. Hades 2. This one is... I haven't finished it yet. It's huge. Like so many of these other games, that was maybe one of the curses of 2025, was the glut of like quality
the big
large
boys.
games.
The good ones were good, man.
And you couldn't just it wasn't a bunch of Assassin's Creed Valhallas or whatever. Well, I want to know what was the last one? Shadows.
That was this year. Was that this year?
There was like there were a bunch of
GOTY
games as big, and they were even better. They were actually really good, and Hades 2 is one of them. It's obviously not huge in certain ways, but it's long, and it's a game that I've done 20 nights, which a night is like a run through the dungeon. I've seen the end of the dungeon multiple times, and I completed Hades 1 on my 32nd run. So based on the progression, I know Hades 2 it seems a little harder, but that was a big part of the discourse when it came out, was how much harder it was. And I haven't noticed that. I think that it's more of a game that expects you to have played the first one.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's fair too. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I do too. Right. It's got a number on it. It's literally saying, hey, it's the second one. So having played Hades 1 like I did, and it in 2020, it was my number 2 game of the year. Tremendous game, and I think there's a possibility where Hades 2 was higher on my list if I had finished it, but I don't know exactly what happens at the end of the game. But for all of the acclaim that it has and the writing prowess of the Supergiant team, I've played all of their games, I've beaten them all. I know that they're going to stick the landing. I can sense it. What they've done so far is really good, and I've said this multiple times. It's true for this game. Every category that could be won in a narrative-based game, Hades 2 has a real contention for winning in that category. I mean, the combat mechanics are satisfying and fast, and the various upgrade paths that you can take your characters are so widely ranging, and they're all fun. Something you run into with run-based games is that you kind of find a rut for yourself. Like, I need to do it this way, or I'm not going to succeed, or I'm not going to have fun. Hades 2, more than I think any other kind of roguelite, run-based, whatever you want to call it, game, makes all of its various, like the different tendrils in which you can level your character up. All of those various ones are fun in their own way. And they succeed. It seems extremely well balanced across the various ways that you can upgrade your character. And that isn't even to begin talking about how incredible of all of the beautifully hand-drawn games that exist these days. This is one of the prettiest hand-drawn games I've ever seen. The special effects are really good, but the character portraits are incredible. They're incredible. The music, it's the same composer they've used since game one, Darren Korb. He knocks it out of the park every time, and this soundtrack is no different. It's truly a remarkable game, and if it wasn't a true sequel, if they had made it a different, so this is the first time they've ever done a sequel at that studio. If it had been a separate game, not a sequel, but it was basically exactly the same, just maybe without the Greek mythology.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd pick a different mythology. Yeah,
different mythology or different, yes, for sure. Then I think it would have gotten even a greater reception, because I do think that a bit of the novelty of the Greek mythology has worn off because of how prevalent and successful Hades was. Hades was a huge success for Supergiant. It was easily their most successful game by a large margin, and you can see that. Large Marge.
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
You can see that in how big and how crisp and clean and smooth that Hades 2 is. I mean, it is.
Sorry.
It's an amazing. It's all right. A large margin came.
I got this intrusive thought of a Pee Wee Herman Hades like.
Hades
and the portrait pops up of Large Marge. So you get portrait
like a toasty situation.
Yeah.
You hit a home run bat on someone.
What kind of weapons? It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing a Terry the Pterodactyl run.
Hades
Cowboy
2
Curtis.
It's a tremendous game. And
how's the weapons? I know the weapons were super iconic and a big part of obviously of Hades. Of who was this little skeleton guy that would always talk to you to give you the
Skelly,
what is it like in this one?
So that was one thing I was concerned about as well, because you can't just do a sword and shield.
Right.
Especially in the sequel. Like, the first game had a sword and it had a shield separately. And you're playing a totally different sort of environment, a different background for the character. So you can't give Melinoe. I've literally, it's been so long since I've played it. You can't give her a spear, right? And just assume that it's going to make sense. It's not. So you have this character who's like, aesthetically, everything is cult-like, and it's dark, and everything is like about spirits and all this other sort of thing. Everything, it's a scythe. I mean, you've got like these torches, these like two lanterns.
Cool. Yeah.
You've got a dagger and like a sickle combo for the communists. I was really worried. Not okay. I shouldn't say worried, because I really don't fret over their games. I always expect them to be good.
Exactly.
But I wondered what exactly they were going to do with the weapons, because it is such a large part, like you said. And I'm happy to say that I think they did an even better job in making the weapons balanced across them. I think balance is truly the key to this game's mechanical success. And I think any weapon that you decide is your favorite and you want to main, it is a good choice. And I think that's mainly true with the first Hades. But I don't know. I just... In the 25 or so hours that I've played of this game, I feel like it is just the most well-balanced rogue run-based game I've ever played. I'm happy to say that the weapons are at least as good as the first game. So like, if there's anything in you that like thought that looked cool or fun, I'm happy to tell you it does feel good. That sounds unique. It's fun. And it is pure kinesthetic enjoyment. It's fast and everything feels good, and Hades 2 it's deserving of the acclaim, I think.
Very cool.
Nice.
Well, my number 3, I'm not going to stick on as long as probably the others. I'll probably make this one the quickest one out of all of them. And it deserves number 3. And I think this is probably a little more biased. Again, like Brandon said at the top of the show, this is our favorite games. Not necessarily what is like critically, and we're not going by the Metacritic metrics. So Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6, if you look now, if you're listening and you are one with the internet and Reddit but have never played it, you're probably going, oh man, what does this guy know? He doesn't have very good taste. And I would say, and that would even the Battlefield heads would probably maybe disagree with that, but I don't. I disagree with. I disagree with the way that people just like. It's a lot like Call of Duty. It's this. It's not. It's getting away from form. And I say, well, did you play Battlefield 2042? Because that definitely got away from it. I feel like, to me, Battlefield 6 was a return to not quite the Battlefield 2 in 3 days, but it was close enough. I think they had tried some different things with Battlefield 1, which was a World War I scenario, then Battlefield 5, which was back to World War II again, which are all great games. And they really tried to jump the shark a little bit with Battlefield 2042, which they went with the whole, like, they had operators and specific pre-made operators, and there were future-ish tech weapons, and then they tried to insert, like, hey, a big tornado's going to fly through the middle of the map right now, you got to avoid it, which was cool. This
Where's
is
my
back
Helen Hunt operator?
You can't predict it. But Battlefield 6 just brings back that. I feel like it does the best at it, to be honest, because I know a lot of, and I'm giving the negative of not my negative, what people's negatives are, because I want to counter it and argue why it's my number 3. In that, a lot of people would say, compared to Battlefield, a lot of the Battlefield heads would claim that it's too much Call of Duty like. And first off, I'd say, well, did you look at Call of Duty? Have you seen what Call of Duty's doing? Are you Microsoft right now going, did we do the right thing? We bought Activision. I don't know if we did the right thing.
A giant kaiju Michael Rooker. Well, can you fight
well,
a giant kaiju Michael Rooker in this game? Because if you can't, I don't want to play it.
But a lot of them, not Call of Duty aside, and what they did, when the beta came out for Battlefield, a lot of people were super excited, and I think in a lot of ways it kind of put a nail a little bit in Call of Duty's coffin before it, because the beta for Battlefield 6 came out way before they even started announcing, I think, Call of Duty, and everybody's like, it's back to it. And it shines because the destructible environments are all here. It's just on a huge, larger scale, and it does feel a little more faster than a Battlefield does. Battlefield always felt more arcadey, than Call of Duty did in both of their heydays. But Battlefield, I think it's keeping up with modern times. I mean, I am someone who's aging. I don't want to play an arcadey kind of clunky game. I want to play something that's fast and frenetic, but still kind of feels like the thing I know. And I feel like Battlefield 6 does that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a tactical modern warfare kind of shooter, right? You got modern era guns, you got modern era vehicles, and that's fine. I think it just does it well, and the game looks phenomenal and runs like a dream. It is always a steady 60 FPS across the
games are always good looking.
Yeah, and they not only do they do that, but now they added these bigger maps where in the distance there's a tank rolling through a building and the building's collapsing, and then this whole thing's blowing up over here completely without missing a hitch. And there's a lot of moments from this year and that for me that resonated, that if we talk about favorite moments, I'll probably get to. My son, it was kind of his first foray into an actual like modern, I guess, shooter, if you want to call it. That's not Fortnite or something. And that's kind of where and so that was a connection there. There was a single player. Single player is what you think it is. Those guys are the bad guys. We're the good guys. Rah, 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 power. It's just like you would think. Any generic modern day power fantasy, it's not quite. I wouldn't say like we are America, rah rah. It's made up
Yeah, we can't
factions.
label a specific bad guy.
Can label specific bad
These
guys.
guys are from Asia somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like Top Gun. Do you watch Top Gun Maverick, where it's like,
oh yeah,
these are the bad
they're
guys.
like,
Trust us, they're the bad guys.
Yeah,
For the
country.
Empire.
Yeah,
I like how they do it in Ace Combat, and they just come up with fictional continents. And this is
Yeah,
Oceania. These are the bad guys.
Yeah.
They did a good job with it in that, because it's basically a paramilitary group that's gotten too much power. And so it's all multi-countries. There's multi-countries that are in the good guys and multi-countries in the bad guys. But that translates into the multiplayer. The multiplayer is totally there. They bring back the original engineer, assault, your support, which is technically your medic, and then of course your sniper, with all kinds of abilities to unlock, challenges to make. Where you'll see a lot of negative out there is that what they did is they tried their hand at, they added a battle pass, and they tried their hand at a battle royale, which I played and felt good. Felt like what's Modern Warfare's shoot?
Warzone?
What's it? Warzone. Felt like Warzone, but just polished and didn't have any cheaters. What do you know? And it felt great, but a lot of people poo-pooed on it because they're like, well, that's what they're doing over there. Yeah, but you can still play Conquest.
Like a real
you can
Pepsi
still
and
play the
Coke
base
situation.
game. Yeah, you can still, it is very much so. You can still play Conquest. You can still play the base game. You don't have to engage. You don't have to buy the battle pass. You're not forcing you to do all that stuff. Now, it's got a little bit of EA DNA, and there is, because they are kind of like, when you log in, they're like, hey, here's the battle pass over here. They're trying to push it in your face a little bit.
Can you play as Skeletor in Battlefield, though? I don't want this game.
Nah, you can't play as Beavis and Butthead.
Can you play as Nicki Minaj in Battlefield?
No.
I'm out.
No, I'm sorry, man.
on.
Sorry.
Man, this is
I know.
garbage, trash.
I know.
Straight trash.
Straight trash. No, it's just it was a return to form for me, is what made it what it is. And it's a game that I continue to play. There's going to be a game I talk about in a minute, potentially, that I kind of fell off for a minute and came back to, and Battlefield 6 was always there with welcoming arms to bring me back, and still feel just as good. I could drop and it didn't ever feel like the sweaties had taken over. It's a good game. Battlefield 6 is my number 3.
So how's the current fan sentiment or whatever of Battlefield 6? How's the community feel?
I think it's that it's a mixed bag, and that's kind of, I guess, what I was trying to state is that I think a lot of people gave it a stink face when they added the battle pass and they added the Warzone equivalent. I forget what it's called. But again, it was inevitable that a battle pass was coming. I don't know what world that we live in now, and I hate it. Should it have a battle pass? Maybe not. And that's an argument for another day. But it's one of those things where I say you don't have to have it. I never bought it. I almost bought it, and I was like, I don't need it. I'm looking at these things.
I asked because it seemed like when the game came out, it made a big splash.
Yes, it was a huge splash. Exactly.
I didn't realize that things. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, it's right. I really do feel like it was right about that time that released, and it was like, well, you're trying, and then Call of Duty was over here going, like Brendan made the joke about Nicki Minaj and all these just outlandish, crazy skins,
Yeah,
and then
McGregor.
Yeah, exactly. And then they did that. They kind of added the Warzone equivalent. They added hold up! And
Foot was a balloon. Was a balloon.
And then I think that's where that sentiment comes from. And if you're like me, I could just overlook that crap. I don't have to engage with the battle royale.
Dude, if you're
I don't
enjoying
have
the
to engage.
mechanics, that says more
Exactly.
about the game.
The base
like.
game has not been changed. It's still the same game. So yeah, play
If
that.
we know anything about video games in 2025, well, I mean, who knows going into the future these days? But so many developers have figured things out along the way, even if there was a stumble or two. So if the core mechanics are there, then there's something positive,
Exactly.
at the very least, that they can build upon and hopefully alleviate some of those anxieties around Battle Pass.
Yeah, agreed. Well, that's my number 3. Battlefield 6 is my number 3. We're here, Brandon. This is
Number 2, baby. My
Yeah.
number 2 is, all right. Who here likes Stardew Valley? Raise your hand.
me.
Nice.
Me, yeah.
Who here likes socializing with a village of characters and growing crops and
Nice.
and selling it
I've got
to
the board
people?
game.
All right. What if you had a small town of NPCs to interact
I'm
with?
so confused.
But instead of socializing with them and growing crops to sell them to eat, what if you were trying to get them hooked on drugs?
I knew it.
What if you're trying to get him hooked on drugs?
There it is.
My number 2
There it is.
game of the year is an early access still. It just got updated like a couple weeks ago. Schedule 1. Schedule 1 is one of my favorite games I played this year. I cannot wait till that game hits 1.0. I'm itching to go.
Me too.
I'm just like the drugs I sell to the people in the game. I'm jonesing to go back to it because it is.
This is my number 6. It edged out. It got edged out.
It is so fun because not only is there like literally a little town of people, you go and you meet all of them and you figure out what they like. What? Let me just read. I'm gonna read this blurb that I wrote because honestly, I could go on for quite a while. Let me pull this up real fast. Okay.
I think I read that blurb.
Did you read it for real?
Yeah, they said Schedule 1, the one before
All right,
Schedule 2.
So, I said, question, do you like games like Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon where you can interact with villagers and sell your crops, etc.? Well, what if instead of socializing in agriculture, you were manufacturing and distributing illegal substances to make the townsfolk addicted to your product to ensure a steady paycheck? Use your hard-earned capital on resources like new equipment, higher quality products, and additives to make your product more desirable, or new properties like a trap house or a barn with customizable equipment/storage locations to maximize efficiency and produce your signature products. You and up to 3 friends can produce and sling your products such as marijuana, methamphetamines, cocaine, and as of the most recent update, psychedelic mushrooms across town. Once your hands are full at production, consider hiring or managing dealers to handle distribution or facility staff to produce your signature products. Just watch out for the nosy police officers and rival gang operations. I personally prefer to schedule my business transactions late at night for that sweet high-risk multiplier. If you ever need a leg up on the competition, cook up a batch of product of your own personal use with beneficial side effects like moon jumping or increased athleticism and more.
Ego death.
Don't forget to invest in a legitimate business front to launder your cash because you can only deposit so much cash per week. Since this game is in early access, it's the gift that keeps on giving, with steady updates throughout the year by a solo developer who outperformed AAA titles on the Steam charts, which I alluded to earlier. I think it came out around the same time. Do what?
I was gonna say, hey, you like meth, right? What if you put some motor oil in that meth? How about this banana?
It's super silly. It's got like this Adult Swim kind of comedy to it, and you learn the people Kyle Cooley. We all know Kyle Cooley.
Oh,
he's everybody's
Kyle
best
Cooley.
friend.
Hey,
Kyle Cooley.
We don't mark up Kyle Cooley.
Kyle Cooley.
He gets what he asks for.
He gets base price. He's a homie. He will buy almost anything from you as long as it's not cocaine because that's too expensive. But you can
Kyle works at the taco place. That's all I got money for.
You can bag up your drugs, or you can bundle them up like in a jar for bulk sale, or you can press them into a brick depending on what product it is.
Oh wow.
There's different areas of town that have different appetites and different price ranges. And it's just super fun. Like, it's pretty lenient too. Like, you have until 4 a.m. to finish your day, but once 4 a.m. hits, it doesn't go any further. You can just kind of keep selling as much as you want. It kind of has like this really nice spot. But what the most interesting thing about it was kind of our group of friends kind of like fitting into roles. Like we all kind of
roles.
We all kind of role played. Like I was just kind of like the business head, as I kind of typically fall into the role. But Jacob Jacob's character was an Asian guy he made who wore blue jean shorts and a t-shirt and an apron. He was our cook. He never left the house. He stayed in the house, and
he's very angry, passive aggressive.
I would bring him his materials. I would collect his stuff to be distributed. I was like setting up deals and completing them. We had somebody else who was doing like one particular type of product. All the while, like the music in the game is fine. But I ended up making like a whole playlist on Spotify of like trap music, like gangster rap, and I'm just like flying around listening to like Mobb Deep
on your golden skateboard.
On my skateboard, watching out for the cops and selling products to people. It's super fun, dude. It's just
a great game.
It's one of those games that it doesn't necessarily pull its punches, like for the sake of not getting criticized. Like there's this one additive if you add I forget what it's called, but it reverses their race when they smoke it.
Oh my god,
So-
it reverses.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could have like if a black guy smokes something that you make, it turns into a white
Makes them
guy.
white.
What
Vice versa.
about a Mexican person?
I
what's
think
the opposite of that?
I think the way it does it is like they just have skin shades, like there's like
Yeah.
a slider. And I think it
Okay,
just
so, like,
inverses the image.
So if like you have the scale and someone's here, the opposite of that for them would be like here.
Right, yeah,
So they just
right.
like get moderately
right, yeah.
Some of them
It's
make them
super
bald.
funny. One of them makes
That
their
is
head grow
so
really
crazy.
big. One of them makes them
Yeah.
bald, so we called it.
Bald.
I made a product that made you run really fast and jump really high, and it makes you bald though. So I called it Super Saiyan Langston. So so we can get around. And you can name your products. That's another thing. You can name your products. There's so many different things that you can make, and it's fun experimenting with them. And then, like,
Yeah.
whenever you're trying to break into other areas and trying to get new clientele on your list, you have to give them samples. And when you give them a sample, it'll kind of give you a percentage of what if it's going to hook them or not,
Their
or
chance,
add
yeah.
them. And then it'll tell you what it is they like. So it's like, hey, I like spicy. I like spicy meth. It's like, okay, well, I need to go down to the convenience store and buy something that's spicy. That
Get some
that has
peppers,
that
yeah.
effect. But not everybody's gonna like that thing. So like, we got to the point where we were rocking and rolling.
Game.
Dude, we had a warehouse just full
Yeah.
of shelves of all kinds of different products,
Yeah.
and we tried to keep it organized. It got to the point where we were cooking it faster and we could sell it.
Yeah.
Man.
It was super duper fun though. I highly recommend it. It's a budget title once again, and it's just.
Well, I was gonna say enough of your business ventures. When do you talk about the game?
and
We have to be aware of watch lists.
Oh, one last thing before I move on to the next thing. When you're making the products, there's like these mini games.
Mini games.
Where
Yes,
you're
thank
using
you.
the mouse
Best
to
part.
like pick up things like you take your pseudo and you put it into the Erlenmeyer flask and you pour in your phosphor or your acid
Phosphorus,
or whatever, and you mix it all up and you put it on the boiling flask and you get
You
the
gotta
temperature just
hold
right.
the temperature just right.
Yeah, and if you don't get it right, it could explode. Same thing, like you got to trim the buds. You got to with the mushrooms, it's a totally different mini game now. It's like you got to get the
I
syringe,
haven't
and
got
put it in
to
the
play it yet.
pack, and you gotta
Okay.
there's certain levels of soil, different qualities of soil, and you can make different quality levels of each product. It's a super in-depth system when it comes to actually making the product. And of course, money management, stuff you can only buy with cash, stuff you can only buy on credit, stuff that you can only buy at the black market at night. You got to go get it. And now there's combat. Now they added rival operations. There's actually a reason for you to carry a gun with you now because they'll try to jump you and take your stuff. We used to be we would just take it,
crazy.
we would just shoot people we didn't like.
Yeah.
or the police, one of the two. But now it's like you might want to consider having one of your inventory slots have something to defend yourself because they'll kill you, and not only will you get a hospital bill for dying, but they take all your stuff and you get
Take your
wiped.
stuff.
And if you're like me, I was running. I was a mule, dude. I had a van parked nearby that had all my stuff in it, like Scarface. My van parked in the alleyway. I was like, oh, I'm running out of blue meth. I go pick some up because I got a couple deals. And that was another thing is you have an app on the phone that you can set like a market price of an item and say this is up for sale, and people will message you and say, hey, I gotta have this. When do you want to meet up? And you can schedule a time to go deliver it. And if you're late, you'll lose money or customers. They'll get mad at you. Or if you're like us, we would just purposely make our stuff as addictive as possible, so people didn't care what they were just like. I gotta have it, please.
As soon as you put it because they're already buying it up.
It's super fun, man. I can't recommend this game enough. Anyway, my number 2
Yeah.
is Schedule 1.
Schedule 1. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I've not played it. Sounds a skosh better than drug dealer simulator.
I
that
actually looked
played?
into that. Yeah,
Oh,
it's less simulator, more just fun, just silly fun.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I played that when it was in early access years ago when it was like it was kind of a meme game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Schedule 1 looks like a evolution of those concepts.
If you ever get it and you need a business partner, you know who to call. We know what we're doing.
Okay, look, dude, let's take it into real life. We don't live that far.
Yeah. I can afford a van. I'm kidding. I can't.
Dude, they're moving ice out of this state and taking them out. This is the time, bud.
It's a free market. Tyler, you're number 2.
My number 2. Now this one is
This is the brass tacks area of the show.
Wait. Oh God.
I gotta get real. This is one of those where like When I tell you what I have, you're gonna know what my number 1 is.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a lot of people's list this year.
That's probably, yeah. I think everybody
I
can
don't like
pick that.
being in this position. I wish I had something mysterious
I
to
know.
come out of nowhere with, but like, it just wasn't that sort of year. My number 2 is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't feel good about this, guys, and I want to blame the system. I want to blame the society. I shouldn't have to pick between 1 and 2 because the truth of the matter is, in 2025, there are 2 games of the year for this guy, and this one is just as deserving of being a game of the year. It's just so different from what my number 1 is, and the vibe is so drastically different.
It's pretty different.
That it really becomes hard in how do you decide for a different reason, and like I would say a tier down. This is reminiscent of 2019 when I had to decide between Disco Elysium and Outer Wilds.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's like exactly the same sort of situation. I would say 2020 as well, when I had to decide between Like a Dragon and Hades. Neither one stands out above the other in a clear way. All right, anyway, I gotta talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm sorry. It's just these lists, man. They get in my head, and I'm like, what do I pick? Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza it's incredible. It's incredible.
It's bananas, bro.
They did it, Brandon. They went bananas.
They did. I predicted this game. Like, it's supposed to be like 4 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Been a long time.
Yeah, we know that it's the Super Mario Odyssey team. It's their successor to that game. And yeah, in some interesting ways, like they do new ideas. They do new stuff with the concept of 3D platforming. I mean, there's a sort of melding of, I think the further we get along in doing video games and stuff, the idea of subgenres, like genres and subgenres, become so meaningless because so many of these games contain elements of all these different concepts that trying to put one in a single basket becomes really difficult. And because Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's not just a 3D platformer. It's this weird resource collectathon dig game as well. And if I say resource collectathon digging game, you probably think of a bunch of other games. But Bonanza has just as much of that as it does platforming. And then it also has this really kind of like more story than we've ever seen from a Mario game, or like a Mario universe game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like more emotional sort of moments and like heartstrings moments than maybe ever before. It just felt like they went a little step further than they've ever done in any sort of 3D platformer. And dude, I remember from the first time I saw this game, I said, this is a Hulk Ultimate Destruction like. And it kind of is, because you grab a chunk and you skateboard, or you have a double jump. Or what about all of the great transformations, dude? The soundtrack is incredible when you go as a zebra. The game is incredible.
Different types of terrain, by the way.
It feels different. Everything feels like when you're in a terrain that's a level 3 versus a level 5. There's a sense that things have changed.
Can I chime in a little bit?
Well, of course.
Because Donkey Kong Bonanza kind of does. It's like what happens when you take Mario Odyssey DNA and a little bit of Breath of the Wild DNA and kind of mix it and throw some bananas in there and give it to a monkey. What happens in it's Donkey Kong Bonanza? It's because it encourages you to play around to achieve your goals. And one thing I really love about Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom inherently is that like the world itself has properties that you can manipulate, and they all react to each other. And Donkey Kong as a platformer does that too. In fact, some of the levels require you to do that. Like there's one area that like you pick up like salt, and you throw the salt, and the way that it impacts other surfaces is different because you've got soft terrain, medium terrain, heavy terrain, and then it will chemically alter certain terrains as well. And you can use that to create your own way to get across areas, and just like Zelda or Mario Odyssey, it'll have like a suggested path. You're like, okay, I could just ride this thing, it'll take me around this really hazardous path. But what if I don't do that? What if I use this ability that I got? I actually, when I played Donkey Kong Bonanza, I went through the entire game and I didn't even get the zebra ability. I didn't even get it.
What? That's so insane.
Yeah, I didn't, because there's a part in which you split. And you
go. That's true. Oh, so I see what you did. That's crazy.
There's a part in which you split. I got all the way across. I got all the way. How did I get across what?
A bridge, because you're supposed to do both to get across. There's like a
cheese crust bridge. Like it falls apart. I somehow found a way. I got all the way to the last boss. I was like, wait a minute.
Life finds a way.
I
have the.
Yeah, I got
the other one that they cross, the snake or the bird.
You have to have snake and you have to have bird, I think.
So you just utilize.
I never got a zebra. And in fact, my little boy was like, "Daddy, you should just go." Like, there's a part. I was like, I probably had to have the power to get through here. There's no other way. I haven't been taught how to get past this part. And I was throwing myself at it. And he was like, "Daddy, just go back. Just go back. You never went back." I was like, "I'll go back. I'll go back. I have to do this. I have to do it." And I did. I somehow used a combination of chunk jumps and rolls and whatever, and I got across it. I got all the way to the end. I was like, this feels like a final boss area. I should probably go back. I went all the way back. I never.
Hey, which boss was it that you were fighting? Is it a spoiler boss?
Yes.
Big spoiler boss?
Yes. I got all the way there. You can apparently you can finish the whole game and not get the zebra power. Isn't that wild?
That's unbelievable. But also, I love that the game allows for that.
Yeah,
that's exactly like what we're talking about. There's a sense of freedom, like that you experienced in Breath of the Wild. You can go straight to Ganon. There's a sense of like, if I just put the right skills together, I can cheat, but not really cheat because I'm utilizing the game's own system.
It's like Tears of the Kingdom, except it was a little bit more requiring intuition instead of just like crazy builds. It was like kind of like how Mario Odyssey was. Mario Odyssey was kind of the same way. It was like you could get across areas in that game if you were skilled enough, but like, I wasn't trying to break the game. I was like, how long can I go without going back to that area? Because I knew what power it was, and I knew I had to go back to get it. Because it's very formulaic how you get it, but I just never went back. Because whenever me and my boy were playing, he would play while I was at work, and I would get home, and he went the other way. He's like, I'm going to go the other way, because you went this way, and I saw what it was, so I'm going to go the other way. And he was like, oh, Daddy, it's a zebra power, you got to do this. I was like, I'm going to go as far as I possibly can. And I ended up, I could have just beat the entire game.
Wow, that's insane. Dude, I love that power. I used it a lot.
It was great. After getting it, I was like, oh man, I should have had this. This would have been a lot easier.
The song is fantastic.
It is really good. The music is phenomenal.
Unbelievable soundtrack. I can't believe the Switch 2 looks as good as it does when playing that game uniquely. I think the remasters that they have for Switch 2 with the Zelda games make this true as well, because those games run at 60 FPS, which is wild. It's the killer app of the Switch 2. I was telling Jacob this. I was like, I can't believe.
Like, I mean, I know why. I know why they made Mario Kart the pack-in game. But if it was me, I would have packed in Donkey Kong Bonanza with the limited edition banana yellow Joy-Cons. Why did we not do it? Why did we not do it?
It would have been nice for it to just be a launch day game. It should have just been a launch day. Like, Mario Kart can still be available, but like when the first Switch launched, you had like Breath of the Wild was available, as was Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, we had to wait on Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey came months later, 4 or 5 months later or something.
And look, I'm gonna say it. Mario Odyssey.
Oh,
Bonanza.
Oh, that's a significant difference for the listeners.
I think something about the way that they do the worlds in that game. It feels less like oh, now you're in this area. Now like you're going in a general direction. You're not just selecting your level. Like something about selecting a world. I've always been more of a fan, like especially Mario games, where it's like you're in a hub and it's hub and spoke. You know, I don't like just selecting where you go and just popping in and popping out.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I don't know that I would put Bonanza above Odyssey at all, but I think Bonanza is maybe the second greatest, or potentially the greatest. I think I just need a little time to digest it. There's been so much time since Odyssey.
You need more potassium in your diet.
I'm with manners. But yeah, Bonanza's tremendous. And like I said, it's just as much a 2025 GOTY as any other game that you can think of. So having to choose right now feels wrong. I don't always feel that way. Sometimes I feel like, no, this is my game of the year, #1. But this year, it's a little more divided.
Jacob,
That
let's
me?
get your number 2.
Hi, buddy.
Well, this one's gonna make Brandon's skin crawl.
Uh-oh.
He knows. My number 2 is Arc Raiders. A game that we were extremely that face. Listeners can't see that smug De Niro. No, me and Brandon were super excited for this game way before we knew it was going to be an extraction shooter. Then when that news came across the feed, we're like, oh, okay, we'll give it a shot because, man, just off the bat, it looked so intriguing. It was a different take on things, that 70s kind of retro future vibe. And so the game came out, and as anyone that is in the gaming sphere knows, it is a huge, it's I would say next to Expedition 33, it's probably one of those games that just the culture just connected and latched on to. And for good reason. So for anybody that's living under a rock, Arc Raiders is a PvPvE extraction shooter, meaning that you can engage with other people in this open world area in which you have to collect loot and bring it back to your area. But the biggest threat really is not, or at least it started off as, not the Raiders or the real people, but the Ark, which are these robot. Has you guys ever seen Oblivion with
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, it is. I swear, I forget the name of the developers. Not Remedy. Embark,
Yeah,
thank you.
there it
Embark, I swear they watched that movie and they were like, probably were smoking or had an edible or so, and like, we should make a game about this. Because it's very much that. There's this weird alien robot that has taken over the world and left it in ruin, and people are living underground or off the grid, and only coming to the surface to get what they need that's vital. So that's the loop. And the game, the thing that makes Arc Raiders stand out, and I'm willing to step back into it. So I kind of stepped away from it for a minute, in that it does a lot of cool, neat things that, much like maybe a game I'll mention in a minute, it didn't do first. It just kind of revolutionized and did their own take and really hit lightning in a bottle with. In that, as when you hear extraction shooters, you think of Tarkov. You think of all these other games that are like, hey man, that's the drug I don't need. I don't do that. I may smoke a little bit on the weekend, but I ain't messing with Tarkov. And so Arc Raiders is I think a gateway for that, because the PvE in the game is super unique with the Arc. They do this really cool thing with the way that there's a lot of drone work in this game. So a lot of things are flying with, like, and I say drones where there's 4 motors propelling this craft in the air. But they do a really cool thing that that really will obscure the combat, because you really are wanting to pop out those motors, and those motors will shift the way they get
I love the combat in between the like players in the Arc, because it's like dynamic. They have like some kind of special sauce they're cooking up with.
I don't know what they do to power those things.
There's nothing more fun just like watching Jacob take aim, take out a rotor on a drone, and it starts kind of going in one direction. I take the next shot, and then like strategically taking it down.
Right.
That's super fun.
And the audio is great. That's why I say Oblivion, because it's very like beep, a lot of beep boop burp, like very unsettling sounds.
The art direction and the aesthetic is phenomenal. I love it.
Yeah. And it's
the cosmetics.
Yeah. Again, that 70s retro. They're taking and so if the lore is there, because the lore was. Humanity tried to leave because they couldn't deal with the Ark, so it was a lot of stuff built around spaceports. So a lot of the armor is indicative of leftover space gear,
it's like
made out of like wiring and computer parts, right? That so
I just saw a new armor set, by the way. It's called Goalie. It's like spacesuit parts, and then it has like a goalie jersey as a hood with a face mask. It's super cool.
It's super cool. Here's obviously the elephant in the room, and the reason that I said Brandon was going to sneer, and that's the PvP. The game started out, and I think that's why they hit lightning in a bottle, because there was the Ark was such a threat because they are obviously attracted to noise, and I mean, even you just digging in a container is like like digging through a file cabinet, right? And they'll hear that, and when one Ark shows up, a couple will be coming, and it can go south quickly. So a lot of people were like trying to actually team up. So it was opposite effect of the danger of the other raiders you see in the world, like, and there's emotes in the game, so you could say friendly, don't shoot, right? And then the cool big feature was obviously proximity chat. And they did it very, very intelligently, where they're just a click of I think it's right on the D-pad. You could very much switch from between your team's proximity chat to general proximity chat very quickly.
Conversations, and then swap over
quickly on the
hey
side.
Guys,
like,
I want to shoot these guys or something.
Right.
Then,
right.
Yeah.
And so it made for just some extremely unique gameplay.
Can I tell you about a moment we did when Seth was with us? Seth is like our genius tactician. I don't know. There was a part where we had
monkey.
We had some people on top of an elevator shaft that had like a zip line that connected down, and like we were
down
there.
Mike, sorry guys.
And they thought that they were. We threw a grenade to try to like breach a door. It didn't work, and they thought that we had killed ourselves. And we just sat quiet. And they opened the door, and we were able to get them. But there's another part where like we had taken out as some same elevator shaft. You probably know the one I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. The one on not Spaceport, Damn Battlegrounds.
Damn Battlegrounds.
You know the one I'm talking about. And same thing. We dropped like a couple of their friends, and they were just like, we needed to go up, they needed to come down. There was no, we're at an impasse, and it got to the point where Seth purposely put on his public chat. He's like, "Come on, guys, let's get out of here." like who would say that? Yeah, no, and we did. We made our characters all kind of run till they're like, "Come on, let's get out of here." And then they came down the slide thing, and we killed them. It worked.
But that early, those moments are so, and that's the thing that was a lightning in the bottle.
So stupid, it just might work.
Yeah, it's those moments, those Captain Jack Sparrow moments.
Those moments are so unscripted, and you can never have the same moment again. You can't make it. You can't organically make it again. They just happen so organically.
That's the magic.
Here's what happened. Sweaty streamers got a hold of it, and it was just a lot of griefing started. And so when you leave, there's an elevator. The elevator makes noise. It attracts Ark. It also lets everybody know that you're going. Or there's other maps have different ways to get out, but it's the same concept. And so now you have the stuff from Tarkov bled over of, let me stay at the elevator. Let me put sticky bombs on the button. Let me grief. Let me...
A lot of it was this right here. You get on TikTok, you swipe, it's like, "Hey everybody, this is the best places you want to camp in Ark Raiders. Make sure you have this gun and do this. And it's like, it got to the point where it's like you knew where people were going to be camping out to jump you, because it was like so popular that everybody was in, and then it got popular to do this. Ready? Hey, don't shoot me, and then they shoot you anyway. It got to the point where like there was no mutual aspect to it anymore. That and Jacob keeps hinting at why I didn't like it.
Oh man, the illustration of society breaking down.
It's not. So I love. Let me get to something. I love this game. I love it, but I don't want to play it ever again until it gets fixed. Like they have done the updates and all that stuff. Now I have heard that there are some issues that if you play, like let's say you play as a group and you play hostile because you're in a group, because you know you can jump other people. That translates to the solo aspect of it as well. So your hostility, if you're matchmaking solo, I know you like to do that, right, Jacob? Is like you play solo and be a little less hostile. That hostility matchmaking follows you into solo as well. I have read about that as well. I've been keeping an eye on it because I want to get back into it. I want to get back into it.
What Branding's alluding to is that there was an update because he was done with it. He was done with it. He was getting murked over and over and over. So let me come back to this for a second. What happened was that magic, that organic magic that happened at the very early stage, and those people came in, those things started to happen. Griefers showed up. No one trusted anybody. So there was no more, hey, friendly. It was just, you see people, you shoot, because they're gonna shoot you. And even the friendly people. Yeah.
Dude, remember that match we went to in the entire server? We were all just walking together. Like, we were just all walking together. And it's like, hey, y'all want to go fight the really big robot? And we're like, yeah, let's do it. And then like everyone's like, hey, does anybody need this? Like, the entire server was cooperating. I'm not asking for that every time, of course, because that would take the magic away from it. But it got to where the probability of coming across someone that was friendly or mutual was absolutely zero. Like,
and then that shrunk into solo play. I would go and I would purposely try to help. I'd bring a defibrillator, which would get up not just your teammates but actual other players that were not on your team, and I'd be the good guy. You kill them with kindness, right? And then I would, like, there's one match where I felt like that was the moment that I started to see the downfall, because I had moved to solo, because solo tended to be where most of the friendly people were, because everybody just wants to go get their stuff and get out. No one wants to engage in PvP. And then this guy was getting jumped by a bunch of arc. I had the right tools. I shot a bunch of them, helped him out, kind of waved, and went on. All of a sudden, I get damaged. My shield goes down. I look behind me. He's shooting me in the back, and I get on proximity chat. I was like, dude, this is a free loadout. I don't have anything. He's like, it doesn't matter. You're worth experience. I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So that mentality kind of happened. But what Brandon's talking about is they had an update, and so that it now tracks. They stealth dropped it where it's supposed to. If you engage shooting other people first, it tracks that meta, and so it will put you in lobbies supposedly with other people that do that. But if you're shooting arc more often, it should put you in lobbies with people that just don't keep to themselves.
Here's the thing I wanted to bring up is why it makes me so aggravated. I mean, ruining the game experience is one thing. But the loot in that game and the stuff you take from your inventory with you out in the battlefield, you lose it, it's gone.
You lose it, it's gone.
And you have one safe pocket. And you got to have a very certain loadout for that, I believe. There's certain loadouts that they may or may not have.
Yeah, free loadouts don't have them. That's the risk of taking a free loadout. But
I remember, dude, I worked so long to get that lever action rifle. Got it modded out, kitted out. I love that gun. I got it. I was so excited. We match made, just so happened to be a bad match where we got in like 10 minutes late. We just got started. Walked out, we got ganked, I lost it. And it took me so long to get that thing and build it. And I was like, I just have more important things to be playing than this crap right now.
Yeah. And that's the down, that is the biggest con. But I say that this is a game, and with this we can move on. This is a game of extremely high highs and extremely low lows. And if they can find that balance, they've got something special. And they've got something special already. And I for me, the high highs just trumped the lows. The lows sucked, and when they were low, and that's why I kind of fell off for a minute. But the highs, there's so many memories. Hopefully, we can get to moments, and if we can't, well, maybe we'll have to edit another episode, and I have to talk about it.
I was thinking
I know. But
it's game of the
there's
year.
just so many. Yeah. There's so many high memorable moments that I don't think I've ever been able to make in a game. Maybe since, honestly, the nearest game would be Sea of Thieves, is the closest thing I can think to.
Yeah.
And so it has to make my top list, and then my number 2 is Arc Raiders. Easy peasy.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, we are running a little long. It's game of the year. It always goes long.
It's fine.
My number 1.
There it
Donkey
is.
Kong, baby!
He's holding the amiibo.
It's been looking at you the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, it has, right? Yeah, I forgot about you.
Can you tell? I'm not bought. I have my own opinions. No, dude. Donkey Kong Bonanza was the game.
Season 2, game of the year.
It is good though. Donkey Kong Bonanza is the game that I was just jonesing to get back to. That wasn't Schedule 1. Schedule 1 came and went. We got to the point where we kind of hit in game and we were done. But I remember when I saw Donkey Kong Bonanza, I was like, I gotta get a Switch. Jacob had mentioned it earlier. We used to do gaming predictions. I had predicted, I was like, yeah, Nintendo's going to go bananas. They're going to make a 3D Donkey Kong game. It's going to be probably made by it's going to be like Mario Odyssey, but Donkey Kong. And I didn't say it was going to be made by the Odyssey team. I think I just said it was going to be Odyssey, but Donkey Kong. And that it was going to launch with yellow banana Joy-Cons in a special edition. And here we are. It came out, and I was so stoked. I was like, I got to get this game. That was the only reason I was envious of everyone who was able to get a Switch 2. But I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because you kind of nailed everything I wanted to say as well. Spoiler free. Every now and again I play a game, and there's a point where I pause it and I put it down. I'm just reflecting on what's happening at the current time that happened here. Us old heads. They appealed to us old heads here with Donkey Kong with the retro levels and the retro the retro soundtrack that got I do refer to myself as an old head because there's gray. You can't see it. There's gray in here, man. Jacob,
I am him.
but the remixed OG soundtracks with Sticker Brush Symphony and all the great music. I mean, and new tracks as well. I love the fact that we were talking about this great emotional journey that the characters are going on, and meanwhile Donkey Kong's just like, ooh, banana! That's all he wants is bananas. That's the only reason. I mean, he does end up getting like a little bit of a connection, but like every time there's like a dialogue and you get to choose like yes, no, or whatever. There's always one that's just like bananas. Like I just want bananas. I'm here for bananas. I really enjoy the terrain manipulation in that game. Every boss kind of takes advantage of it. I love, like I mentioned earlier, carving your own path literally in the landscape, and being able to use your skills. You can use certain skills to, like you said, use the surf turf or the chunk jump and all that.
Hey.
Oh, hello. Hi. Hello. Anyway, you can use the chunk jump. You can use all these cool ways to get around. And the bananas feel like they're... You know how the moons in Mario Odyssey, they didn't feel as novel at first? It was like, I just got to get 37 of these things so I can get out of here.
Right.
Every time you get one of those bananas, I feel like the time in between getting them was so satisfying, and every 5 you get a skill point, and then you can start customizing your character.
Dude, it should be remarked that they hand out bananas like it's going out of style.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of them. And then you get the banana bunches, too. And I love that when he gets them, when he's eating them, it's like dun, 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 dun. Something about those noises, it's clicking that lizard brain stuff for you every time. And whenever...
is so good at this type of
you
stuff.
get that splash screen, that and you have the thing, the point. And I like being in different forms when you get it, because every time you get a different form, you get a different splash screen. Not to mention Pauline's powers, being able to like undo the curses and stuff. And I like the new enemies. Like in Donkey Kong Country Returns, I wasn't a big fan of the new enemies in that game, like the Tiki guys or whatever. But this one, it works. And I like how the game starts. Like you're in the mines, and you're working your way. Instead of like going up, you're going down to the core of the planet. There's like this mystery, like what's at the core? What's the big mystery? And totally worth it. Totally worth it. I love this game.
Totally worth it. Very, very, very satisfying payoff.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. And of course, I got to go to Universal Studios, and I got to see Donkey Kong World in real life, and that's where this hoodie came from. I was like, Denzel Washington meme, like, I'm from down the way. I'm leaving with something. That was me. I was like, what am I going to spend my only allotment? And it was on Donkey Kong and Fallout stuff at Universal Studios. But anyway, my number 1 game of this year is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Tremendous game.
I love it, dude.
It's why I want the Switch. It's just a Switch is expensive, so I'm just gonna have to hold off.
If I had to complain about anything in this game,
not $80. Can we just say how amazing that is?
That too, not $80.
Dude, it came out with a banger. They could have sold it for $80. They said, how about
I'd have bought this game. I'd have bought this game for $80.
I mean, it would be worth it. Not Mario Kart World. Are you crazy?
Two complaints. Complaint number 1: the cartridge isn't yellow. It should be banana yellow. If you got the cartridge and put it in, it should be yellow. It's red. I understand why.
It does, however, taste like rotten bananas.
It does taste pretty gross. And then complaint number 2. It's not even a complaint. It's just if I had to dock off of like a standard review score, it does have some very, very minimal framiness whenever you're fighting bosses that specifically take advantage of constantly manipulating the terrain in real time. And you can understand why, because these bosses are completely changing the world around you, and it's crazy the way it happens. But yeah, I love that game. I love it. Anyway, number 1, Tyler.
We're kind of in a renaissance of 3D platforming. They nailed it.
Oh yeah. Now let's get Banjo-Kazooie back.
Yeah, seriously, the time is right. Well, Microsoft, who knows?
They're not letting go
All
of
right.
that.
Well, my number 1, if you didn't intuit it already, it's Expedition 33. Jacob, do you have anything you want to say?
My number 1 is Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That way we can just we can open
guys.
the floodgate.
Yeah, you say your piece and I'll say my piece.
I did play it. I play it. I promise.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to know. I want to know what was the last thing you did so that we can talk about things
I had just walked into
around that.
what's his name's lair, the mount, the vehicle.
Eski.
I had just gotten
Eski?
into
Oh.
like I had just maybe got to the first save point within the lair, and that's
Okay.
That's where I stopped. I was playing on Game Pass, and Game
Yeah.
Pass stuff happened, and I ended up canceling my subscription for patronage support reasons, and I had lost access to it. So it's not a question of I don't want to play this game. I obviously it's a branded game, so I'm glad everybody's loving it though.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I actually I played a huge chunk of it early on, and then I canceled my Game Pass because they increased the prices like crazy. And then as we got close to Game of the Year and you invited me to do this podcast, I was like, okay, I'll get Game Pass for a month. It's been 2 months. I've had it for
I got you.
Yeah, it's just the PC Game Pass. Yeah, I've done 2 months of it just to finish Expedition 33, and yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's one of those games that's like, I don't know. There may not be one area that I would give it an S in, but if you're grading it like a Metal Gear kind of way, all of its categories are like A.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with this sentiment.
I
Yep.
said this. I think I said this to both of you separately. I was like, I don't think Clear Obscure Expedition 33 is necessarily doing anything that is 100% unique.
Yeah.
But what it is doing is it's firing all cylinders from start to finish, and it's taking a risk and making a unique world with all kinds of like stuff we haven't really seen before, and it feels like a unique novel experience. And it's only what, $40.
Yeah. If you bought it outright, I was just like you guys. I was a Game Pass guy as well. So
Because like I've played, the reason I said this is a branding game. I'm not trying to hijack y'all's _1 slot. I just want to chime in.
No, it's okay.
So I can feel involved.
This is a
he is. Don't let him lie to
community
you.
discussion.
All the way back from whenever I was like what, somewhere between 5 and 7 years old, playing Super Mario RPG with the timed button presses and the tactile input of the RPG genre, or Legend of Dragoon, Paper Mario, all those games. And people are like, "Oh, I love that the turn-based stuff is involved." It's like we've had that. They're just doing it really good. And they're doing story really good, and they're doing performances really good, and they're doing music really good. Everything is just like across it's a bar. This should just be the bar. What they're doing should be the bar. And I feel like the industry, like as we talked about earlier, is just so like homogenized. That's the word I keep going back to. Is that this bar, while it's not in a spot like the highest spot, I feel like it could be. It's unique now. This is above the bar now, and everything else is like way down here. You can't even see it. It's all camera. It's way down here.
Yeah, Expedition 33 is I mean, one of you said it from start to finish. It really is, from the moment that you start it to the very last moment. It's kind of pulling you along. There's no, I don't know. I would say that it's paced extremely well. And I did side content. I kind of inched forward as the game made appropriate. Like, you find places that it's like, danger, don't go here, of course. And I ignored that sort of thing. But I did little side content here and there. But I never felt like I got to a point where, like, you know, it happens in an RPG where you hit the, like, main world time and it's like, I've got 10 trillion things to do. The game just opened up more and more and more and more. And it continues to open up more and more and more until, like, basically the very last moment. And the game makes it clear, this is the last moment. So, like, it's perfectly parsed out to, like, like a 7-course meal. They don't give you too much at each point. Everything is just done exceptionally well. And I do really think that it's worth the acclaim that it's received, because it's not stumbled anywhere. You end up caring about the characters. When to be honest, I approached it like from a kind of skeptical perspective. Not because I thought it was going to be bad. I thought by default it would probably be good.
I'm covering my cam because somebody wants to come in here that can't be on camera. That doesn't want to be on camera.
That's all right.
I'll cover for like a minute. I just didn't want you to be weirded out.
That's okay. That's okay. So it yeah, I don't know. They start you off with a gut punch, and they don't really give you the respect of telling you exactly what's happening. Like, you just you have to be intrigued with the mystery enough to take each step along the way. But like they keep doing little things to keep you engaged, like the whole time, something that you didn't quite expect. How about one of these now? Oh, hey, how about we do this now? It reminds me of the it reminds me of like the early days of Game of Thrones, where it felt like you watched this show where they could do anything.
Yeah, give it time. Yeah, something. Yeah, it's gonna go off the rails.
Dude, the way that, and this is no spoiler to Brandon, but like when you first set off on the expedition, the way they just go like, hey, everyone is just, how about everyone dead?
Man, what a great what a great intro, by the way. It gets you hooked immediately.
Yes.
That's what we talked about. Yeah.
They just it felt like you were playing in a universe where like anything truly could happen, because I don't know where the boundaries are for this world. It's so weird. It's so unique and interesting that like I just have to see what they're doing the whole time.
Subverted expectations because it's so unique, and they took a risk with the world that they built that you have no idea what could happen at any time. It's
I'll
wild.
still be familiar with the genre conventions. Like
100%.
You're familiar of an overworld. You're familiar of an airship.
Dude.
You're familiar with all of the combat tropes and stuff. It's just that like they put their flair on it. And to their, out of respect for the developers, I did play it in French. And I felt like it, and of course I'm just reading it the whole time, but I felt like it made sense of the world to me in a way
it's like playing a Yakuza game in Japanese.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Or Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Dude, whenever I walked out and I saw that there was a world map, at first I was like, what is this? Why does this look so weird? I was like, oh, there's a world map! We're back to world maps, dude! Yes! I love world maps! Like, we haven't seen this, like, since Final Fantasy IX. At least in the Final Fantasy games. They just don't make world maps like that anymore. That kind of, like, abstraction of traversing a large geographical region. We don't see that anymore, and it kind of creates this weird, like, a game that's trying to be taken seriously as like a facsimile of a geographic area, but it can't because it's just too hard. It's to technically do that. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example. I think one of my friends was like, "Hey, isn't it weird how you can walk from Midgar to Junon in like 15 minutes?" I'm like, well, yeah, it's a game, like
suspension of disbelief, guy.
Yeah, that's the whole point of world maps, And anyways,
so crazy. It's like, can you believe Donald Duck shot a Zeta flare? Who cares?
Donald could beat. He's the most powerful mage in Square Enix history.
That's wonderful. I love that for him. But another thing I really like about Expedition 33 is that it's doing all of these things that are reminiscent of genre conventions and things that you're familiar with from playing Dragon Quest and things beyond. But it doesn't try to imitate any of what you would expect those things to look like. It does its own thing instead. Instead of trying to appear in any way like a JRPG, it's like, what if we just kind of invent FRPG? And like they create a whole cultural kind of vibe difference. And it truly feels like
it does
a different genre. One, it's doing all of the same things that you're already familiar with. So like, yeah, it goes a long way on how faithful it is while also just bringing something new to the table.
I think all this that y'all have said, all this being said,
I ain't said none yet.
all the awards that it's won, all the praise it's getting, all of it is very important because this needs to be praised because this should be the standard.
No, it should be.
And
100%.
also the fact that this was, I know there's a big controversy right now. What is indie? What is not? Regardless of what it is, this is a group of people who left a AAA studio because they were told, hey, we're not making that game because that sounds stupid. And they did it, and here's what happened.
Dude, that's kind of the story of Dispatch as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was supposed to be an animated series.
Nobody wants this. Once again, it's like the fifth time I've said it. The homogenization of all the content we get. It's just become so formulaic and predictable and
Yes, predictable is a good
and
word.
unremarkable to the point where you're like, what did I just eat?
Bland, dude. It blows me away that they've done a new Lord of the Rings series, and you couldn't pay me. Well, you could pay me a little money, and I would watch it. But otherwise, I'm not watching it because it
not my
looks
choice.
it looks. I literally just saw trailers, and I was like, I know for a fact
Like-
this isn't going to be good. And then it comes out, and everyone's like, this sucks, and it's like, of course it does. Did you see the trailer?
It's almost the same thing I had talked about. It kind of spans entertainment industries at this point, but like to keep it completely spoiler free, Stranger Things season 5 or the final episode of that show just happened, and it's wild that we're seeing people with fan theories on the internet that just sounds way cooler than what actually ended up being, you know. And it's
playing
it's,
it safe, man.
Yeah. Anyway, Jacob, go ahead.
Well, first off, I do want to defend my stance. I don't think anybody's a fan enough that knows my top 1 from every year, but it does feel like I trend chase because my Elden Ring was my number 1, Baldur's Gate was my number 1, Astrobot was my number 1, and here we are. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is my number 1. But I mean, what can I say? Like I like what I like, and well, let me say this. I saw this game from afar and knew about it before it came out, and then realized I was gonna buy it, and I was and just side notice, you know, this year was very tough. There's a lot of games that I missed because of finances, Dispatch being one of those. And so I was like weighing on myself, and I had Game Pass at the time, whether or not I should buy it. And then I was like, oh, it's on Game Pass. All right, and it comes out tomorrow. All right, it's preset in the download, and that opening scene, like Tyler said, it's a gut punch. I think I was on the Snapchat the next day, like Snapchatting our multiple groups and just saying like, I don't know what y'all are playing right now, and I know some of y'all's tastes in here. Y'all need to be playing this game because I think I said I don't think I've cried at the intro to a game, the prologue to a game since frickin' The Last of Us. And just that first opening scene, I was already invested story wise, and like Tyler said, it never lets off of it. You know, JRPGs specifically, very much JRPGs. They get that anime in them, and then all of a sudden they get crazy, and they can kind of lose you a little bit. This game, and this is not spoiling anything, but this game is a game about loss, and it's about dealing with loss. And you know, I haven't had anybody lost in my life recently, but like, man, it tugs on some heartstrings, and I really kind of hate. And we talked about this off the cast, but I got up to a point where you return to a different area, and it would seem as if things are better, and they take a turn, and you can, like Tyler said, there's a part where you will be asked, this is the end of the game, and I didn't get to that part, and so I basically just went ahead and looked it up, and I saw the 2 endings and went, wow, okay, and so that, I think, honestly, I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because some of those endings, I don't know if some of them sit quite right with me. And I can't say too much more other than spoiling it, but up to that point, I think it would have wrapped fine. I still would have been happy had I played it through.
New Game Plus, by the way.
I don't know if it does or not.
I'm just curious because if there's multiple endings, it'd be nice to kind of like Chrono Trigger.
Go back and make that. Yeah, rush through it.
Whenever I finished, I had the continue option at the main menu, and so if you jump back in, it puts you right before the final boss, and you can do all your side missions.
This isn't gonna spoil it. It's not gonna spoil it, I don't think, for you, Brandon. But Verso or Mael, Tyler. Who'd you
Brandon,
go with?
do you know who Verso is?
No.
Do you know who Gustav is?
It's Ben Starr. You know Ben Starr's there in the game.
Yeah.
I've told you this.
I've seen his character before, obviously, but I don't know
Do
who
you know
he
Gustav?
Oh, of course, Gustav.
Okay. All right, so I couldn't remember the point in which they do stuff to make that make sense for us, but I guess you're not there. I guess what happens? It's okay. I don't want to spoil anything, of course, but
I do
okay.
plan on playing it. I'm probably just gonna pick it up on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but story aside, like the story, like Ty was saying, mechanically the game gives you, and not only that, they give you new things. The open world is unlocked to you, an airship. And then when, but like the characters themselves, mechanically, this is the thing we're not talking about, and this is where I'll end on it. mechanically, that was the thing that had me off the bat. As someone who's very an infant, I would say maybe I'm a toddler now, to JRPG turn-based combat that which started with Persona 5, got me into that door. God almighty, I miss that game so much.
Dude, I have something to say to you after this. Go ahead.
Okay. But like, I was already hooked. I didn't grow up playing Mario RPG. I didn't grow up playing those games that have these things in them. And so like just being able to dodge and parry and have those timing windows and not only time those things with just an audio cue, but obviously a flash on the screen and they do it so cinematically. The game is a looker. And then when you meet when you start collecting your party and you start getting your characters, every one of your characters plays 100% uniquely different. So like they all have their own mechanic, and Mael's mechanic of she needs to kind of debuff herself to buff herself back up, and Gustav's mechanic of it, he's charging for berserker mode essentially, right? Luna's your mage. Sael, who's really cool, I love her build with the cards. Monaco collects feet. I love those characters from the bat, not only the way they played, but their stories. This is not spoiling anything, it's a scene, but there's a scene where between Verso and Minoko when you first meet him, and they're going back and forth. I don't know if you remember, Tyler, and he's like, there will be violence. You're right, there will be violence. I should go. Yeah, you should go. All right. Okay.
You got a great relationship.
Yeah. And it's just, I audibly laughed. Yeah. And so, and then, like Brandon said, music. I had to look it up. Flying Waters. That fight. That's that bing,
Dude.
bing.
I talked about.
And you start moving.
I talked about.
It's literally European house music. It just kicks in all of a sudden.
I paused the game, put the controller down, and was just like blown away at that part.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah. I didn't even start the fight until like I just sat there and listened to the song like maybe three or four times.
Yeah, there were so many times I just had to sit and listen to the music while I stood in front of my enemy, not moving.
Right. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be fighting. Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the fight.
But I'll end with this. I've kind of already said it, and this is what I've said to Brandon off key.
He's frozen.
Off key. Am I frozen? Oh no! Can y'all hear me? It's kind of a cool side profile. I'm a very angular-looking dude. Oh no! Oh, it's saying my Wi-Fi. No, why would you do that? It's okay. As long as you guys can hear me. I sound fine, huh?
Yeah, you're good.
Not distorted,
you're
not
good.
roboting.
Nope. You're good.
But basically, I've watched some interviews with the developers and with some of the voice actors, and they are not shy about that. They wear their inspiration on their sleeve. And that's where, like Brandon said, all the mechanics that you've seen before in other games, they're firing on all cylinders. They knew the games they loved as gamers, and now had the ability to make their game and take those inspirations, the Final Fantasy IXs, just all the things, the other games that they were inspired by, and make a game that was super special and obviously won them the praise of their peers. So, Expedition 33, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is my number.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really want to. I want to underscore how surprising and nice it is to have a game where it's like it feels like anything could happen. It doesn't happen all the time in a story. Like stories so often play things safe because they want to build into a franchise or they want to protect fan favorite characters or whatever else. But man, the story goes places in Expedition 33 in some surprising ways that I didn't expect, and some things I did, but in some ways they changed it up. So
That's wild,
I got to
man.
give them credit for like having some cojones to like do some crazy stuff in the story.
Yeah, as a gamble.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Sure. I would like to say my phone died. That's what happened.
On audio.
Yeah, it's not the internet. It's my phone's dead. Okay, it's fine. You just don't get to see me now. You just get to hear my whiny, high-pitched squirrel voice.
So quick, let's do like a quick 5-minute rundown. If you have a top 10, go ahead. You can run it down from 10 to 1.
Okay.
We definitely want to recap it, but I don't have my 10. I just have 10 games that I've played. And I'll just tell you what I played because
Go for it.
I didn't make a particular order. In fact, my list is still not fulfilled. So my top 5. The games that I played were Schedule 1, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Oblivion Remastered, Towerborn, South of Midnight, Rematch, Blueprints, Donkey Kong Bonanza, did I say Abiotic Factor, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, Grounded 2, RV There Yet, Arc Raiders, Mario Kart World, and Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That's all the games that I played last year.
Okay.
I don't have a 10. I just have a 5.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll run through my 10. Now, these games ended up on this side of the list because I didn't play enough of them to really push them over my 5. Some of them I feel like are probably better than a couple of my top 5, but it just felt weird to me for me to put one of these over like Dispatch or Split Fiction that I finished. I got to be honest with you. Okay, so 6 was Mario Kart World, 7, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, 8 is Silk Song, 9 is Death Stranding 2, and 10 is Metroid Prime 4. I'm sure if I had finished Kingdom Come Deliverance, it would have been on the top 5. That game seems incredible. I had a bummer situation where I lost my save, and I have no idea what happened. I have no clue what happened. Sucks. The game runs perfectly fine, no issues there. I just went back to my save one day, and it was from like the tutorial mission, basically. I was 60 hours into the game. I had done everything in the area that I was in, all like side missions, all kinds of stuff. I had made so much progress, and I have no idea what happened. That's the most frustrating thing. It's never happened to me before. I never finished Kingdom Come Deliverance. Silk Song, it's just sat on my hard drive forever. I love Hollow Knight. But I've only played a little bit of Silk Song. Death Stranding 2, I've played a good bit of, and it's more Death Stranding with more tools. But they give you the MP3 player that you had in Metal Gear Solid 5 that they didn't have in Death Stranding 1 that they should have had.
Oh, dang, man.
Yeah, I know. It didn't make any sense. He gets these bands to do music, and then he didn't put an MP, at least at launch. I don't know if they patched it in. Maybe they did. I played it at launch. But Death Stranding 2,
a game about walking across landscapes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you listen? Can you listen to what's the name of that band? The I Would Walk 1,000 Miles. What is that?
I would. The Pretenders.
The Pretenders. Yeah.
No, the Proclaimers.
The
Pretenders?
Proclaimers.
No.
Proclaimers. Yeah. Can we get the Proclaimers on there?
I know, dude. Metal Gear Solid 5 had a crazy soundtrack, didn't it?
It did.
Some good stuff on there. So Death Stranding 2 is an interesting game, and I kind of keep going back to it every now and then. It's fun. Metroid Prime 4, it's more Metroid Prime, that's for sure. Lots and lots of scanning. Bike is fun. The fact that they didn't give you music for the desert roam around area is, I mean, we should slap.
And lock it behind a $40 amiibo too.
It's incredible. We should put them in jail for this. They have broken laws, I'm certain of it. There's some other games out there, Doom, Prince, Blue Prince, Ghost of Yotei. I played these games and fell off for one reason or another. Blue Prince is the one that calls out to me the most of that group.
I agree.
That I want to go back to because it was super interesting. But yeah, it's going to be bad. I had a couple other games on here, but not much to talk about. Jakob, your turn, dude.
Yeah, my quick everything I touched this year: Eternal Strands, Monster Hunter Wilds beta. I kind of got into that for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I played that. Not my thing.
I've heard a lot of people kind of fell off of it. Really hard, actually. Yeah.
Really hard.
Atelier Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and Vision Lands. My first time with that series. Pretty good. Elder Scrolls 2 or Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. The Headliners, Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Yeah, I did play Headliners. I didn't mention that.
Yeah. I'll come back to that. I'm not naming off the ones that are in my top 10. We got that John Carpenter's Toxic Commando beta. That was really cool.
Yeah,
I'm really excited
I did
for
play
that game
as
coming
well.
up.
Thank you for
You
that.
did. Crystal of Atlan, Dune Awakening. I had some time with that. Rematch. Obviously Grounded 2 in early access. Fellowship. That's a fun game. It's kind of just basically like World of Warcraft, but just the dungeons. That Lego Horizon Adventures, the boys got to play that. That was really fun. So my list then going down after 5 out of Val was Schedule 1 at number 6. That was the one I was trying to wrestle back and forth with Avowed on. Number 7 is Where Winds Meet. That is the people that did Once Human. It's a free-to-play game. And before you say pump the brakes, it's basically like, think Crash a Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Feudal area, China, a lot of mysticism and magic, but with also combat gameplay. But it's really, really cool because you can totally just switch between single player mode and co-op on just like that. It's a really cool game. Doom: The Dark Ages is number 8. That was a really fun game. I don't think I fell off of it. I think something else came in play to bump that time away. Number 9 was Roadcraft. It's the makers of SnowRunner made a game where you can build roads and build infrastructure, and it's a really fun truck game with my boys. And then lastly, number 10 is Rune Factory. It's the latest in the series, Guardians of Azuma. That game is really, really fun. I think that's the best Rune Factory that's out there yet. And then my honorable mentions would be the headliners, like Brandon mentioned. That's a really fun game. It is very much indicative of Lethal Company, but there are aliens attacking, and I got my press pass, and I got a camera, and I got to take the best pictures.
One part Lethal Company, one part Dead Rising.
One part Dead Rising, 100%.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, Rematch was a soccer game that was made by the guys that did Sifu. Guild Wars Reforged. These are all honorable mentions. They redid the game that I grew up loving, and then I actually got 8 hours because of my PlayStation trial with Death Stranding 2 on the beach, and that's with Dispatch. That's my other game that I kind of wish I would have played more. I actually was getting very hooked on that game compared to what I was with the first one. So I will probably pick it up at some point when it goes on a bigger sale. That's what I've heard. Yeah, so.
I will say this, the greatest thing Death Stranding 2 gave me this year is a fairly comprehensive vision for what a good Lord of the Rings game would look like. Where you play as Sam and Frodo. It's a Strand-like...
We made this comparison before.
Yeah. It should be...
Oh my god.
Sam Bridges, remember Samwise Bridges?
Yeah, exactly.
Samwise Bridges. That's a podcast title.
Oh, we got to figure out what episode that was.
You should take the Hobbit buds to Mount Doom. That's the whole game. 80 hours. However long Death Stranding is, but you're Sam and Frodo, and it's a Strand-like. You make connections with people just like they do. You meet folks along the way. Is he a betrayal? Is he a good guy? Whatever.
Dude.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Instead of getting an exosuit for Frodo, it's just Sam. He is just the exosuit. There are you, Mr. Frodo.
Oh, it'd be so good. So that was Death Stranding too.
Okay, well, I think that's the show, guys. We're gonna cut it off here. If y'all want to do an additional episode, we can. But we're at 2.5 hours, so we gotta cut it.
Woohoo! Hallelujah!
But that's the show. If you want to follow us, Spotify, Little Jolly Gamer Show podcast. I guess I'll post it there. I'm still figuring all this out. This will be on YouTube. Thanks so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Anybody else have anything else to say? Check out Tyler's channel. His stuff's really great.
Thank you. Middle Gray, YouTube and Twitch. Thank you. Video games.
I don't have
anything.
anything.
Pretty good.
And Jacob.
I tried YouTube and
just
it didn't
like
work.
your video feed, you got nothing.
I got nothing. Dad Q Gamer was my channel that me and my son played some games and just couldn't get any traction and had issues. So, anyways.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully, I'll get this out in a timely fashion. I'm rusty, so. Thanks for joining me, everybody.
Oh, share, yeah.
It does feel good. It does feel good.
It feels good.
Not to be all emotional or whatever, but this year has been really tough for a wide variety of reasons.
Oh, it has been.
But there's a little part of me that's been missing, and that is this show or any kind of
his left hand.
Any creative output has been really difficult because that little positive aspect of my life where I had something to look forward to in the midst of everything that's going on in this world was gone, and it feels really, really good to I actually think I may have told both of you. I was like, y'all gotta really force me to do this, like not because I don't want to, because depression. So anyway, thanks for pushing me out here, fellas. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's been fun, dude. It's been real. It's been a great time.
Has.
I like reminiscing and looking back. And 2025 was tough, but there's some good games.